to talk over everybody, whereas we always end up just
or at all.
Love it. All right, so last week we left off with these guys doing a bit of shopping in the village of mostly kobolds they discovered dug into the inside of a mountain. It's a pretty fun little place. I think we left off, you guys were at the general goods store. You've been talking with the bugbear proprietor. I think one of you had maybe been talking about maybe taking on his lad as an apprentice. He seems like a bit of a virtuoso on the old saxophone, as you would have began to hear after Ralph come inside and started playing. It was pretty good indeed. You were brought here by Akak, an elderly gnome fella who seems to know the area pretty well, and has offered to be your guide since you no longer have one because something might have happened to yours. Don't know what. It's totally not my fault.
It's all his fault.
It's not my fault at all. Totally didn't do it. What are you talking about, Jeff? My fault.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea.
Infecting Porgadam.
To be fair, we really set him free for being a passenger in someone else's body.
Yeah, well.
You know, it's not my fault the body died to get there. Now, I will point out, you had a cleric 30 feet from you the entire freaking time. The entire time that you were on the ground, and could have been healed in any of the 3 turns that you were rolling death saves for. Was it 3 turns, or did I hit you again?
I think you hit me again.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you hit him again.
But the worst thing is, he's not one cleric, is he? He's 2 clerics.
Well, it's 1 cleric and 1 wizard.
Oh, 1 cleric and 1 wizard, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Oh dear. So anyway, you found yourselves in Zarzeth Tilson. This is the name of the kobold town. You spent the night in the inn, you heard some rumors, you spoke to some people. Akak was trying to get you an audience with the king because the king would want to reward you for killing the rock, which had been given the hunting parties in the village trouble.
And now that it's time to pay up.
Well, he's been kidnapped, you say.
I feel like that should be the air quotes.
Sure. Sure, if you like. He's been kidnapped. And for the information that's been gleaned, the message that was left behind was to bring the statue of a Kanthanak from the center of town to Malachi's Rest, which you guys know is the entrance to the lair of a necromancer, not just a necromancer, a lich, that you've been tasked with taking out by the Wizard of Woe, which turns out is a Kanthanak. So
I can't remember this note being read.
Me either. About moving a statue.
Is this something that happened last thing with Jason while we were out of the room?
Possibly. Who was it that Akak ended up speaking to in the corner of the tavern when he came back?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So that's
we could do that in character, because I haven't actually heard this yet. I'm finding out in the pre-show what happened in your little Secret Whispers moment.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Secret Whispers moment.
No,
we all went on break.
You guys were just asleep, and I was still awake.
That's what I said. My character doesn't know. When I say I'm finding out, yes, I am finding out because I'd left the keyboard. But my character has no idea, so we can roleplay this. You can explain it to us while we're in the store if you want.
Excellent. So, Jason, you remember all the stuff that's going on with that?
Not really, no.
Okay, so for your benefit, the Mod's blocking his ears. Akak reported that he'd been kidnapped. There'd been a note left that said this stuff about the statue.
Oh, that's right.
and that scouts had been sent to confirm that the king had actually been taken in that direction, or if that was a decoy. And he asked if you guys would, help out when the scouts come back.
Yeah, what did you say to that, Jason?
I'm sure we were all there for that.
Well, you just said we were asleep.
No, that was the other time when we were in the corner in the thing. And, I don't bloody know. I can't remember now. I'm sure we were all there for that, because then you were looking at the statue and you found the smaller one and you were looking at that maybe to take that instead of the big one. Because there were people talking about shrinking the statue.
Well, I feel like I missed that episode. Yeah.
I don't remember those parts exactly.
Who was talking about shrinking a statue? I can't even do that.
I don't know. But anyway,
I know
we're in the
we
store and we're buying stuff. That's alright, because I got what I needed from the store. I need to help my compatriot if I can.
Yeah. Alright, so sorry. Alright, so
wait, hold on. So the Lich wants the statue as payment for the mayor?
Yeah.
Basically.
Why didn't he just steal the statue instead of the mayor?
It's a good question.
He's gonna come all the way here to steal it.
It's a very good question. No, that's actually a very good question. Maybe you should ask someone in the town that.
Save that. When they explain this to us in character, you can ask that question. We can find out.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Alright, so basically, Akak's offered to be your guide throughout the north, but he wants your help rescuing the king.
I can't wait to meet the king today, guys. I'm so excited. Sorry, I've had my ears blocked. I'm just so excited about. We went to the general store. There's a few other things to go do. We wanted to visit the farms and go see the king because we've got a meeting. So exciting. I've never met a king before.
Yeah, and of course Akak isn't with you right now. He's preparing for the return of the scouts. So this is perfect. Alright, so now we did leave off in the general store. Was there any more you wanted to do there, or do you want to move on to the blacksmith or anywhere else in town? Should we go to the town map and have a look around? Yeah? Alright, let's go. Town map it is.
Because, I would definitely like to talk to our friend Smith.
Alright, so here we have the town map. You guys are, I've got the token outside of Gothag's Goods at the moment, so that's where you guys just were. You've got, it's morning now, so there are kids out playing, but probably not as many as there were the day before. So it's only morning, some of them are still at home. So there's probably about half as many of them there, and the elderly dwarf couple isn't there yet. I'm not going to hide the token. I'm just, a bit of something different. Everyone's done in the general goods store. We'll try and stick together this time if we can. If anyone wanders off, we'll stick with the main group and do side tracks afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be following Kadam.
Yep.
I need to keep an eye on him.
So Kadam wants to go to the forge. Ralph, are you good with that? Do you want to go somewhere else on the way? Like, what's the thoughts?
I mean, I would like to go to the forge.
Excellent. Alright, so, you guys can to along the path and pull in at the forge. We will head on over to the forge map. Let's do this. Alright, so over here. I'm not going to bother putting tokens on here for you guys. Like it's a small ass map. You've got to mind your movements and stuff. So you approach the forge, you have to come down and around like the goods store is on a ridge above it, and you can see the top of the forge and the smoke billowing out of it from that level. You wander around, and the forge is kind of tucked into the side of this ridge, and there's a small brick house, like a squarish kind of abode, backed up against the ridge with a yard in the back that's fenced off, a small deck on the front. The front door is closed. Would you like to knock on it, or what would you like to do?
I think I should knock on it and wait to be invited in. Just something in me feels like I need to be invited in for some reason.
No, it doesn't. The door's closed. But you knock on the door, and there's no response. Does anyone want to make me a perception check? In fact, everyone make me a perception check.
Let's make a perception check.
Why
They're
not?
always fun.
Hey!
Well, let's get everyone to roll.
Dirty 20.
Oh, very nice.
A
Oh, very
dirty
nice.
26.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Very dirty.
anyone that was coming in, this is good. Ralph's super perceptive today. All right. Well, everyone but Ralph. Can't really hear anything from inside, but you can hear like the clattering of tools and a little bit of chatter, like the barking of commands and things like that coming from the yard in the back.
Yeah. It sounds like they might be up the back. Should we just knock louder, or should we just walk out the back?
I have
And
an
then,
idea. Let's
yes.
walk out the back.
Okay. All right. So rounding the
Yeah.
side of the building.
Knock
see
louder
it?
before we leave.
To which you just hear someone crank out, just side gate, busy out here. And if you look around the side, you'll see that the stone wall is kind of low, like it's not designed to keep people out. It's kind of just marking the perimeter. And you can see the heads of two younger kobolds sort of like bobbing around in the yard. One of them's over at the anvils working the forge, and the other one sort of like just started heading over towards the gate from the other one. The gate itself is just a simple wooden affair. It's a bit frosted over. He wanders over, swings the gate open, and sticks his head out, and it's like, "Oh, hello. Can we help? What you need?"
Hello. I am after some supplies, if you don't mind.
Oh, supplies. Maybe, depends what need. Come in. Come. Talk to Ferret. He knows things. Philbus know. Come on. And he swings the gate open, and this little guy is like most of the kobolds here, like light blue skin instead of the typical red that you would expect, and dressed in like workers' clothes, like you would expect in a forge, but like a lot of the other kobolds, it's wearing like a hat with like a fur rim and like fur shoulder kind of throw things, and it's like they don't need them. You've seen them running around in like bugger all compared to this. It's kind of like they what's the word? Sorry. It's kind of like they're
Is it a
like-
uniform?
Like, yes and no. Actually, so yes. Thank you for that.
Well, yes, but actually
yeah.
no.
So like you've seen other kobolds dressed like this that are patrolling. It seems like a lot of the kobolds in the town are like they have their regular job, like these guys are here working in the forge, but they also all take part in the militia. So this might be sort of the accoutrement of the militia and an indication of their station, perhaps. And they seem to, like those bits of clothing seem to be much more looked after than the rest of what they're wearing. Like they seem to take more pride in those. So anyway, this little guy lets you in, and motions over towards the forge. You can see another door into the back of the house there as well. In here there are stacks of wood and lumber, both in piles and in the carts, probably fuel for the forge, you might imagine. 2 anvils in the middle of the space, both with appropriate tools sort of hanging out around them, and forge up the back. The other younger kobold is over by the forge. He's hammering away on something, looks like a tool of some description from the gate, and the other guy points over towards an older kobold sitting in some kind of wheelchair contraption over by the forge, who's working on something that you can't quite see. It's small and it's faced away from you.
Well, first thing I'm gonna do, right? I don't think Kadam's gonna be able to help himself here. He's going to take a great big whiff of the air through his giant ass trunk.
Mhm.
And he's gonna exhale and go, I missed that.
Sure.
The smell of a blacksmith's shop. Oh.
Ah,
So,
you work in these places. You're a blacksmith. You don't look like a blacksmith.
in another time, in another place, I was quite the creator.
Oh,
I was actually looking to get back into it, as a matter of fact.
other time place. Yeah, okay, you talk Philbus. He knows things. You talk Philbus. Philbus, customers. And the little girl runs back off to the forge and starts tapping away on some other tools. And the other older kobold sort of sitting in this chair, and you see its wheels start to slowly turn, and he's not turning them, like with his hands. They're just turning. This chair is like, it's made of solid oak, but it's capped in bits of metal. Let me just remember which one he's actually on. 1 second.
Finally, an excuse
that guy.
for a forge wheelchair.
Right. Like the wheels are rimmed in brass, and there's spikes coming out the side of them, and there's like a bladed kind of like a snow plow kind of thing on the front of it. But you can see the wheels start to turn almost of their own accord, and then turns around so that Philbus is facing you. This is very much a kobold, same size as these guys, but his skin's a lot more sort of taut, a bit wrinkled in places, and he's missing both of his legs below the knee. And kitted out otherwise in like a blacksmith's apron, working gloves, that kind of thing. And he's got this strange kind of helmet contraption on his head, which looks like it's made of some kind of like, it's metal but not metal. It's hard to explain, and it's got a visor that seems to be like as black as obsidian that he lifts up as he turns around and peers at you with icy reptilian eyes. It's kind of squinting a little bit, like it's kind of hard to see you, and so the chair begins to roll forward again of its own accord. Its hands at this point, he's got a blacksmith's hammer in one hand, which is kind of resting in his lap, and the other hand is just perched on the arm of the chair, and it kind of wheels forward. You get a closer look. It's like, and I assume is everyone like at the gate inside?
I'd imagine I'm inside by now. So
I imagine you are. What about
Yeah.
everybody else?
Yeah, I followed. Went in.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello there.
No, I wasn't. I was talking to them, but hello to you too.
Okay.
1 second. Sorry guys, fixing something.
And I turn and stare at Taiji and Ralph, who are standing there resolute, looking very strong and courageous.
So this.
Buttering us up.
I'm just standing there looking at Kadam and just not really doing much at all.
He peers at you all, and then he like cocks his head a little bit, reaches into the pockets of his apron and pulls out a small monocle and puts it up to one eye and sort of closes the other and looks at you all a little bit closer. And he sort of pauses for a minute as his eyes glaze over Kadam, and then also over Effie.
Can I give him a little bow at that point, like a little graceful priestly
Sure.
bow?
Yeah, absolutely.
At least as graceful and priestly as an elephant can bow.
Yeah. And with that, he pops the monocle away and he's like, pulls himself a little closer and he's like, "You're a strange lot to be coming into my shop.
Oh,
I'm kind of busy. This better be good."
Oh, I won't take up much of your time. In fact, I'm really after some rather rudimentary items. Mainly some smith's tools, a woodcarver's set, and maybe just some scraps you have around of wood and steel that I could take with me.
Wow. I mean, those are all things that you would expect to be able to find in a place like this, right?
I would expect and hope so, yes.
Well, I think I might be able to help you. But
Oh,
gotta answer me a question.
I can do that.
Okay. So it's really, really important that you're completely honest.
I shall be truthful.
You're from Bastion, ain't ya? And he stares you dead in the eyes as you say this.
My body...
Keeping in mind that you have no fucking idea where you're actually from.
Oh, that's right, because I don't...
Because you don't have Yahsob's memories.
Oh.
And he's asked you this in front of the entire party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To be honest, sir, I'm not entirely certain how to describe where I'm from. I've been through quite a way.
You mean the mountain pass? From down south, right?
He's possessed.
Further, let's just say I'm familiar with the high seas.
The curious old kobold kind of like looks past Kadam to Ralph and arches his eyebrow at the words you just said. It's like, possessed, you say?
Yeah.
He's like fumbles around in his pouch again and pulls out another monocle, and this one's distinctly different. Like it's got the last one's rim was gold with a blue lens, and this one's got a silver rim with a red lens. And he holds it up, and he peers at Kadam and looks him up and down, and he's like, "No, there's only one entity in that body. What do you mean possessed? She's not possessed, my friend."
Oh yes. Oh yes. Even the clerics, even the gods have said so. Yeah. That point to the trash can next to me.
Love it. I'm so glad I know you meant the Warforged. He sort of like looks over those guys and he's like, Oh, you're an interesting one. Wait, there's two of you. He's looking at you, Taiji.
Yes. Me and my brother, but his power core has been broken, so we've had to meld together for now. I don't know if you know of how to fix power cores.
It certainly sounds like a you problem, laddie. But for the right amount of gold, I'll try anything once.
And what would be the right amount of gold?
More than you can afford.
Well, we're off to do some stuff for your king that he might be very grateful for, and I'm sure he would have the gold to pay you.
The king was there.
Yes, your king.
We're not doing anything for your king.
No, we killed the rock. We're the ones that killed the big birdie. Also, is it weird if I tell them they've got nice wheels? You've got nice wheels.
Maybe a persuasion check.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
'Cause I never use it. Hey.
Hey, nice. Not bad at all. He looks over to you and he like tilts his head a little bit, almost like dips his visor. And he's like, thanks. I made it myself. Now, power source. See, the problem you have is like that big old fire behind me. That's a power source. But that's a bit too big for you to be carrying around with you. You need one of them condensed jobs.
And I'll fish out the power source from my brother, the cracked one, and I'll be like, "This is the broken one. I don't know if you could do anything with this and refill it and charge it." And
You hold his hand out.
Yeah, I hand it over.
Looks it over, fishes around in his apron pockets again, pulls out yet another monocle. This one's got a brass rim and a green lens, and begins to look it over. Oh, this is curious indeed. Where did you say this comes from?
It's my power source. I have basic knowledge on how to repair myself, which I could probably share with you, but I don't have the means to do it.
He's kind of turning it over in his hand, and he's got a frown on his face now. It's kind of like he's puzzled, but also like an element of confusion. So where do you come from?
I come from all over.
Well, this power source says otherwise.
No, I've been all over the place. Me and my brother have travelled long and far.
I'm just going to step out of the way for when he does it.
Where did you originate?
Originate? I don't know where I actually came from. I was built.
Where were you built?
I don't know.
Where did you first come online then?
Well, I was in a town when I came into my awareness.
Alright. If you're being deliberately vague, I want you to roll me deception. If you're being honest, I want you to roll me persuasion. Because
No, well, thinking of my backstory, I've been trying to nut out a backstory. I know what I sort of am, but I believe that my corrupted information isn't letting me obviously see the whole story yet.
yeah.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Where do you think I come from?
not from around here. Let's just say that.
Well, no, I've travelled a long way since I became aware of my surroundings.
Very long way. Maybe even before that too.
Before,
He hands
before
he
that?
hands the power source back to you. Maybe. Leave it with me. If you are planning to help the king or whatever it is you're planning to do while you're here, just go and do that. But come and see me again before you leave the area. I might be able to help you with the power source.
Oh, thank you, sir. Anything that you could help me with is muchly appreciated.
No problem. It will be an interesting challenge, I think. Just one more thing, and he pulls out again, digging through his apron pouches. He pulls out this time. It's not a monocle. It's like a small telescope attached to like a box with a couple of buttons on it and a little window in the back. And he's sort of like, just hold up the power source for me. Let me get a good look here. And he points the telescope towards it, holding the box, and is like looking through the window at the back. He's like, are you holding it? Do you hold it up for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And he presses a button on the top, and there's a little crystal embedded in the top of this thing that pulses a bright light and makes a psh kind of sound. So, okay, perfect. For reference, he sort of tucks that back away again. And it's just now that you notice that thing that he pulled out was way too big to fit in that pocket.
Like, that looks interesting. Actually, being joined together, do I have memories and that sort of stuff from my brother, or is it only when I am that person I have the background knowledge?
The memories are accessible, the memories of your experiences, but your knowledge might not apply. Like, you can't roll skill checks off of the other one.
No. Yeah, I'd have to roll skill checks off my own.
No, but your memories are shared, but it would be like...
you download.
Yeah, you could... or like, having an internal conversation. It's not first-hand, his memories of things. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys were separated for some reason and have different memories of an experience, like, he would have to relay them to you. But it could be done through a data transfer, like a download, like Fizz said. It wouldn't be like you have first-hand knowledge. It'd be like you can reference his recollection. Yeah, Cliff Notes version. Perfect, thanks, Fizz.
Just like, that's an interesting pocket you have there.
He says that to all the guys.
My brother seems to have some ideas of what that might be. He might want to speak to you later.
He frowns at you and says, "It's my pocket."
Oh yes, it is your pocket. But my brother might want to speak with you at some stage when we get back.
Looks around. Where's your brother? He's not here. Oh, that's right. That's
In here.
2-1. Yeah, okay. We'll see. Well, I do have a lot of work to do, so and he
One last
clicks
thing
over.
before we go. Do you have any models made of gold or silver of a dragon?
Maybe. Why?
I'd like to buy one.
Okay. I'll and he clicks his fingers over the lad nearest to him at the end, and he's like, "Hey, Ren, go inside, check the boxes. Gold or silver dragon statues. Woodcarver's tools." And sorry, and he looks over at Campbell. What was it you were after again? Memory's not as good as it used to be.
Oh, yes, smith's tools, carver's tools, and some handy wood and metal scrap that I may use.
Okay, well, you can grab any scrap you want from over there, and he points to a pile of there's not much, but there's a bit of wood scrap and metal scrap that you can gather up yourself. And then, Ren, go and get those things from inside, or see if we've got them anyway. Go on, off you go. And this kobold just goes off inside to start going through the things, see if he can put together the things you're after. And he looks back across the rest and he's like, so, I'm sorry, I do have to get back to work, but was there anything else while you're here? And he's looking around to like everyone, giving others an opportunity
No, but
to...
it has... Oh, sorry. No, but it has most certainly been a pleasure.
Just
Look
a
forward to seeing you again.
just a question.
Mhm.
That big statue out there, is there anything significant about it?
There's two.
No, the big one. The other one's little.
Okay.
I mean,
Is there anything?
just-
Is there any reason someone would want it?
who wants it?
I believe there was some information about the undead lich in the next town wanting it.
Lich in a
Looks like an
town.
elephant. Sorry, go ahead.
Did you actually say that in character?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. He pauses for a moment, frowns. Lich. Town. No, there's no towns north of you. But Lich. Lich is a bad news. A Lich wants the statue.
I believe so.
He sort of like wheels around on his chair for a minute.
That looks like fun.
And it's like, again, the wheels are moving, apparently completely of their own accord. So he seems to, he's kind of talking to himself under his breath for a minute, like deliberating between two different points of view kind of thing. And then he slowly, he sort of nods to himself. He turns back and he's like, you can't let the Lich get the statue.
Okay.
May I ask why not? What's so important about it?
To the townsfolk, it's the holy representation of a Kantanak, as I'm sure you've heard,
Yes.
of the locally worshipped dragon deity. There is look, I'm gonna be real with you. He ain't no god. Nice fella, not a god. Powerful. Old-ish. Not as old as me. Shh.
So-
But
What's a god like Cord?
who?
Cord, the god of thunder and power and the forge and might.
Rope.
And like thinks for a minute. Hey. Hang on. He reaches again into the pockets and pulls out like a scroll, and he's like flipping through it. Reaches in again, pulls out a little like stick of charcoal, and like rolls back up, puts them both away. It's like, oh. So what was it you said about God again? Sorry.
Oh, I said, so he's not a god like Cord.
It's like, no, not at all. He's a dragon. You know, which most of the simpletons that I seem to be related to and he's just like looking over at the other one of the younger kobolds, who kind of like bows his head a little bit as he keeps tinkering away on the anvil. Like, seem to worship dragons as gods, but he's just a dragon. I mean, most of the time. But anyway, a lich wanting no. It would devastate the entire village. But
Well, I think you should just tell your friend the Lich he can't have the town statue. Like, it doesn't belong to him. You can't have it.
And I look over,
I
go,
don't
who's
see why it's
right?
got anything to do with us anyway.
I have. What was that? Sorry, Fizz?
I said I don't see how this has anything to do with us. I mean, if you're worried about your statue getting stolen, just you're a blacksmith. Go put some manacles on it. Stake it down.
Yeah, probably the best way to go about it.
well,
Probably why he didn't steal the statue instead of kidnapping the man. The man wasn't stapled to the ground.
What?
it's,
Oh, wait, no, that wasn't in character. That was just you saying.
yeah. Okay. Good, because he was about to react to it. I was gonna say.
So, is there a gold dragon? And I'll walk into the house looking for the gold dragon.
So, no. So you go in there and you find. We'll come to that in a sec. We'll just finish up out here. But yes. So he looks around at the rest of you and so just whatever you're thinking of doing, don't take the statue to the Lich. Bad idea. Now, we do have some choice selection of objects here as well. If you'd like to follow your friend inside, Ren will help get you sorted. It's mostly just tools and stuff, but if you ask him to show you the good stuff, tell him I said it was okay. And with that, you can wander inside. If anyone else would like to continue talking to him, you can. I do have a shop list for this one, so give me 2 seconds. I'll get you a link. And there may be other stuff than this, but this is just the stuff that's going to sort of jump out, other than your general tools and stuff. This will be when Ren opens the couple of chests that have the bits and bobs in them. Let's see. I will send that. Can I put that there in the game log? I believe I can. There you go, guys. If you click on that, it should take you to the shop. Just let me know if the arrows at the top are showing up as like what price they've got coming up on them.
Three.
So I can, 3, yeah, perfect. So it should be correctly priced. So these are the things that he has. Some of them are common and just lying around the place. The rarer things are, in the chests.
Guys, I think I broke it down. I don't think Mark wants us to buy any weapons of warning.
You don't say.
It looks very much like he just added 3 zeros on the end of them.
No, this is okay. So, like as per last week, these shops do have a markup. They're like 3 times more expensive than a regular shop because it's so isolated. But that is only 3 times a regular weapon of warning's price, according to this shop generator. A weapon of warning would be 60,000 without that. Yeah. I don't want you to have them. You will notice a couple of interesting items in there. There are, and there are a few of them. Like there's probably 2 or 3 short bows and like half a dozen spears that appear to be mechanically enhanced. Like they're much more than just simple wood and metal and string. Like the fibers are beyond what any of you would recognize. For the bowstrings and things like that. Even the shafts of the spear are made from some kind of, like, it looks like metal, but it's light as all hell. The tips are like super sharp, and they seem to have a mechanism in them that helps them dig deeper in once they've struck a target. And the short bows have like aim assist kind of, or not aim assist, like they have mechanical leverage assistance to help give them more power over shorter distances. So these are the mechanical short bow and mechanical spear options on there. So yeah, they're kind of funky looking.
I've got got a question. I can't help but notice a conspicuous absence of carving and smithing tools.
Yeah, that's fine. He's gonna do some rolls in a minute to see if he actually has those in the back stock. Yeah, this is just the pre-rolled store, but I'm happy to roll for particular things that you guys want to find. So go ahead and roll me a D100 on each of those items to see if he has them in his storage.
I shall do that.
With the vials, can I just buy 5 of them? 15,
Sure. Yep.
15 gold.
Yep, not a problem.
So, I didn't declare one before, but I'd imagine the smith's tools take kind of priority, and I don't know what the roll represents yet, so 78.
78. Yeah, you're good there. Add them to the list.
And wood carver's tools. 54.
Also good there. So they are both available. The woodcarver's tools are 3 gold, and the smith's tools are 60 gold. So 63 for those, and you can have your other bits and pieces and scrap for nothing. You basically cleaning up his offcuts for him, so it's like fucking whatever.
Did you say 63 gold for the 2 items?
Yep.
The 2. Excellent, excellent.
And then Mod, you're after like gold or silver dragon statues, right?
Yep.
Give me just one D100.
Yep. That is a 35.
35. Unfortunately, no. He does come back with like some simple iron carvings of like a Carthanak, the dragon statue.
Yeah, that's what I want.
The dragonborn, yeah, but it's just a simple iron sort of thing. Yep, cool. He's like 2 silver.
Yeah. Could I have that? And can I have one of these? And grab a mechanical shortbow.
Yep, absolutely. No problem. So
one of these. And grab a mechanical spear. And then, and that thing.
I was so thinking about that mechanical spear too.
There are multiples. There are like 5 spears and like I'm gonna say 3 shortbows. So one of each of those is gone. So those 2 plus the dragon thing. Look, I tell you what. It's 270 gold for the bow and the spear. I'll throw in the. I'll throw in the statue. I made this one. This is Randy Younger, one of the younger 2 assistant kobolds, and so he hands them over. 270 gold for those one.
Awesome. And I say thanks for that, and I throw them 8 gold pieces as a tip.
Excellent.
Might I ask a question of this merchandise? Specifically the mechanical spear. Now, is it magical in nature?
No, it's mechanical.
Mechanical? Sterling?
Yes, like assisted force delivery.
Well then, I believe I shall definitely grab one and see how that goes.
Absolutely.
In fact, why not 2?
Okay.
It's a good day to get 2.
90 gold pieces, please.
90 gold pieces are yours, my good sir. Now, player question: will mechanical spear appear on the list, or is that something I'm gonna?
No, it will not. But just add a normal spear, rename it, and it does. It's +1 to its damage roll.
Excellent. I like it.
Mechanical shortbow is +1 to its damage roll, and its short range is extended by 20 feet. The mechanical spear has like it's the spearhead is designed so that once the spear embeds in something, it will like unwind and dig deeper in, hence the extra damage. And the mechanical shortbow has the extra leverage arm, so it's like at shorter distances the way it's been designed. The arrows will strike a little bit harder at its normal distance, but it also makes its short range a little bit better. So it's got just that little bit extra range and does extra damage by shooting the arrows at a higher speed.
So
Yeah.
is it a +1 short bow or is
No,
it
no, it's just a short bow with +1 damage, and whatever its short range is, it's make that 20 feet longer. So you'll have to customize it and make that a These are, and you'll notice now looking at these that most of the militia.
+1
No,
damage?
just damage. Yeah, just damage. And they're not magical. They're mundane items. They've just been like rigged up with tricksy, mechanical fun things. You will also notice, getting a closer look at these weapons, that these appear to be the weapons that the Kobold militia are carrying. But these ones appear to be in better condition, having not been used before.
So they're not magical, so they don't work with like magical like you need a +1 weapon to hit something.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, no, they don't count for magical for the purposes of overall damage resistance. No.
The thing I will ask is, you wouldn't happen to have a quarterstaff that can shrink down by any chance? I can pop out to make a quarterstaff.
I don't know, but Philbus might be able to make you one. But it doesn't sound like something we would have. We have quarterstaffs.
It just saves me carrying this big quarterstaff on my back when my brother's not in control. If there's something I could shrink down and put in my belt or something, because I use a mace, and he'll pull out his mace.
I mean,
Oh god, he's carrying the luggage for 2. I didn't even consider that as a character.
can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Does your brother use the staff to cast spells through?
No, I don't think he does. I can't even remember which one I picked, but I don't think it was.
Can you tell me out of character, is a mace a simple or a martial weapon?
Maces are simple.
Okay. He kind of tilts his head to the side and it's like, you know that if one's not being used for like channeling magic and stuff, you don't really need both weapons, do you?
I suppose not.
I could buy one of them from you.
I'm outside.
I'm whispering. Ralph. Ralph.
So I'm guessing yeah, well I suppose I'll look at the mace. Be like, well, I try not to use my mace so much. And he'll hand the mace over like, I don't want to sell my brother's items without him accepting it. Yeah, and I'll go to hand the mace over.
Sweet.
I kind of wish you were like, there was 2 people playing your characters, and like one had the left hand, one had the right hand, and like
Well, that's
you're trying to sell it, and the hand's trying to grab it back. Like,
well, that's sort of what is actually was happening with the previous like makeup of it. One was the left and one was the right arm.
Nice.
Yeah. And he'll hand you 2 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. So Fizz, you said Ralph is outside still. So is he wanting to talk to the guy? Or is he just hanging out? Like, what's happening? There?
Yeah, I was waiting for the party to leave. But they went in the store, so that works too.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so while they're in doing all their shopping.
Yeah, sorry, didn't catch your name.
Hi, Philbus Ferric, proprietor and tinkerer extraordinaire, some might say.
Well, Philbus Ferric, tinkerer extraordinaire, some might say.
You can just call me Phil.
Oh, so Phil. The goods guy told me to come down here and ask you about climbing gear and rope.
Galani sent you. Excellent. Okay.
Planning on going to the north wall.
Oh, why would you want to go up there? It's cold, even for me.
Well, coincidentally, we need like a cold iron, black metal in the far north.
Let's see.
I'll even go so far as to show him the mission letter.
Oh, okay, and he'll excitedly read that over. Like, he doesn't get to see things like this very often, you know. I can do that back and say, okay, time pressure by the sounds of that. Do you need gear for like everybody in your group?
Speaking of that, I'm not confident on who's with me. I've got the elephant guy who was a scout, and now is clearly somebody else.
Or the one you think is possessed.
And that Imperial robot tried to trick us and put the whole party to sleep. God knows what he would have done if I didn't pass my save.
What? Past yourself. No, I'm kidding. So, Imperial. I thought so. That's troubling.
Who's Imperial?
You're inside.
When you fix his heart, is there any way you could put a cut-off switch, maybe?
How does he know I'm?
Yeah.
How does he know I'm Imperial?
Because you're a freaking droid, right? I was also the guy said it that took a picture of you. The guy I'm talking to.
No, he just said asked where I was from. He didn't say I was Imperial.
All right.
However, Ralph does know this. So, proceed.
Yeah. So that's what I'm asking. Just in case. He's kind of two-faced. I never. And if it goes bad, I'd like
So this
if I need to.
Imperial, I thought he was metric.
Hilarious. Right, can you make me a persuasion check, please, Ralph?
Yeah, I'm asking him to help me kill somebody, possibly.
Yeah, it's going to at least be a little bit of something.
I don't have a Fizzcannon or anything.
Well,
Where the hell's persuasion? And then a D4.
okay, listen. I'll
There's
think
20.
about it. But nice. nice. Okay. That's a bit better. It might be possible. Leave it with me. I'll see.
Maybe not even a killing blow, but something disabling.
Yes, I understand.
So I feel like I can trust one of them, but one of them I don't feel like I can trust.
Okay. That might be more complicated.
I know.
But okay. Sort of looks up at you, because like obviously sitting down in a chair, and you're reasonably tall compared to a kobold.
No way. I'll fucking sit Indian style.
Ah, nice. Alright, so he looks over and he's like, so
Or cross-legged for this generation. Yeah.
so that can be looked into. Climbing gear. So the question was, how many sets did you need?
There's 4 of us. Yeah.
And didn't I see you ride in on a horse? Okay.
Climbing gear for the horse. Bucket needs climbing gear.
How? Yeah. How? What are you suggesting here?
Well, ordinarily, I was just some other means of transportation. Horses and mountains don't exactly go that well, but leave that one with me too. Come and see me before you leave town. As far as the climbing gear goes, I think I only have 2 sets handy, but I could whip up a couple by like mid-afternoon.
And I appreciate that and your time and everything I've asked of you. We're gonna need an absurd amount of rope, a wagon or a dog sled to carry the gear. You can see we're on a time crunch, and we have to, get to the wall as soon as possible.
Okay. Is there a way that you could bring me a sample of this mineral on your way back?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I have this stone that'll take us all back, right? It's a kind of a urgent thing. So I wouldn't be coming back from the north. It would likely be months from now, from the south. Maybe I can send word of if it exists, where it's at to you.
Okay. I tell you what, I want to help. You see the wagon outside there? With the wood in it? Oh, over there. We are outside. He points over towards the wagon.
You don't mean the broken one by the front?
No. That's, in fact, thanks for reminding me that's there. I can repurpose that. Perfect. Okay. The wagon over there with the wood in it. If you and your friends want to empty the wood, you can use that wagon. It's got some hitching posts and stuff, and I've reinforced the axle, so it should be okay. I'll work on those other things. I'll get your climbing gear together, and he seems to be doing like some calculations in his head.
I'm trusting him. I'm just gonna drop like 20 platinum on the forge there next to him.
His eyes kind of go a little bit wide, and he's like,
"Yeah, anything you can do to help.
You can
help us along."
And he kind of like puts his hand down the middle of the pile and splits it in half, and he's like, "You can keep that. I'll take this for now, but let me do the proper math. I might have some change for you once I've."
Yeah, just for now. Hold it for now. If you feel like giving some back later,
okay,
go ahead.
Deal. And he'll scurry that away in a pouch and like, yeah.
Just out of character, so nobody else. I'm a little confused. So nobody else knows about the king going missing, other than me now. So we're not actually going to do the king thing at all.
Of course, unless you tell us, or somebody else tells us.
Yeah, although in that we still meant to go and kill the lich because the dragon asked us to for passage. which is where the
Right.
king is.
Well, so you've been told.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, I also
I was just thinking, like, he's got time to get our climbing gear, because if we're going to do the lich, to kill the lich, we could possibly just come back, grab that, and go.
yeah. So personally, if we can avoid the dragon, yeah. But so back to the forge. I guess I'll ask this guy: is there a faster underground way to avoid the dragon? Because he's tasked us with fighting a lich. He said he'd give us free passage, but
Does sound like something he'd do.
being as we're in a cave now,
Let's say, I mean, passageways that go through the mountains and things, but
nothing over that long a distance.
not that I'm aware of. Okay,
What about-
your friend was saying something about the king being missing, and perhaps you were going to help with that.
It's the first I've heard.
Well,
So, and to be
perhaps
honest, I had something else on my mind at the time. The king's missing. The king that we came here for.
I guess so. It's the first time I'm hearing of it too, from your friend before. I'm just like,
This is gonna be the most productive conversation ever. Two people, somebody just came up and said something completely random, walked off, and two people going like, "I guess the king's missing."
Well, can I be walking out at this point?
No, but I'll yell for you at this exact moment.
there you go.
The fuck is going on?
Well, hang on. I'll roll. Am I rolling? Rolling perception.
I didn't
To
ask
hear
you to
him.
roll.
No, but to see if I can hear him yelling out to me if I'm in there.
You can hear him.
I can hear him. All right.
He's
So-
yelling out to you, deliberately
No.
trying to get your attention. You can hear him. You don't have to roll. You didn't get asked for a roll.
Ralph, quick, come
You're welcome
inside.
to do one, but you can hear him.
Ralph, come inside, quick.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna come to the door, come in.
And I say, look, look. And I point at the full-length mirror. I say, yesterday I had nothing on but an illusion, but look at me now. Smoldering armor and a kick-ass bow and whatever the hell this pointy thing is. And I stab something.
What do you start?
Oh, this is a table.
Table?
Or like
Okay.
if there's a dummy. There's a target
I
dummy
just
right
see him.
there. I stabbed the
Perfect.
target dummy.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Roll me a hit roll.
While he's attacking the dummy, I'm just gonna look to the little kobold in there and be like, "How much for the mirror?"
Let me see. That's the wrong shop.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I should look at that
Okay.
now that I'm in here.
750 gold.
Jesus.
What?
Yep.
Ow! Shit.
Yeah.
Thing. I don't know if I even need to bring this up, but from that shopping list, I also bought a sack.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Plain
fine.
boring sack.
Yeah, you hit the dummy, kind of off to the side a little bit, but you hit it.
it's actually
doesn't-
another +4 on that as well. I rolled the wrong thing.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, looking good.
yay! And
Taiji.
also, I got this, and I hold up the little copper dragon and say that I can give to the king as a gift when we go. Let's go,
Sure,
everyone!
You'll love it.
I hope he
Yeah,
does.
so-
It's of that dragon that everyone likes, Akak.
So the blacksmith just told me that Taiji told him
Pardon me.
that the king is gone, so he won't be giving that thing to the king. Taiji?
Why isn't anyone
Ak-
worried?
Bill!
Akak. I thought Akak told everyone, but He told me last night that the king's gone missing and asked us for help to go and get him. I thought when he left this morning, he would have told everybody else before I'd got there.
Who's gonna pay us our money for the rock?
The king when we get him back.
Maybe it's not our fight.
I like.
Well, I just seem to think that we were going that way anyway. Seems though we were tasked to go kill the Lich for safe passage, which he granted us, so we should honour our agreement.
Well,
Surely we must help these people. Don't you see? If they need our help, then it is up to us. No one else is going to do this. They cannot go raid, destroy this thing, but we have a chance. Surely.
Hey, hang on, but I think that these, and I point at the dragon kin kobold, and I say, I'm pretty sure these guys are like in a militia, and if their king went missing, it would be like their sacred duty to get the king back.
They would know.
Like, wouldn't it be kind of rude to go rescue their king when they're all like training their whole lives for this moment? Like, and I turn, don't you want to rescue your king?
The militia has gone off in search of the king and should be back soon to let Akak know whereabouts he is. That's what he said when he left.
I don't know.
And then
I was asleep last night. I went to sleep. Okay, so Akak came back and said the king's missing, so the meeting's cancelled.
Wait, hold on. Akak might be full of shit because these guys are in the militia, right?
Yeah,
they're wearing like the militia outfit.
Maybe some scouts went out to have a look, and the militia's still here.
I'm just gonna Phil. Is Akak trustworthy? Because I don't know why, but I trust Phil.
That's a little old gnome guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you want someone to show you where the good hunting spots are and like, you know, where to avoid for nasty critters out in the wilderness, is trustworthy. I don't think he's ever lied to me.
Is there any reason you guys wouldn't have been told that the king is missing?
Maybe to stop a panic.
Perhaps it's not wise to go blurting it out in every store in town.
You can see at this point, like,
This shit took a turn.
Yeah.
Let's wait for Akak to get back. He should be back shortly. We can ask him what's going on properly from what he's found out and make our decision from there.
so you can see that, like Ferric, Philbus Ferric has, like he's come back inside. The other kobold, younger one, is still outside working, and the one that was inside helping you as this kind of conversation sort of started up, he sort of crept back out the back door and just sort of like, it looks like he was concerned, but he's gone back to the anvil. And Philbus would just sort of like, he'll look back over his shoulder and he'll wheel over and pull the door closed and be like, I would say, yes, that if the general militia haven't been informed, Gren's a good boy, he knows not to say anything. There would be a reason for it. Jaxie, the head of the King's Guard, probably has decided to keep it under wraps to prevent the town from panicking until we know exactly what's going on. That's you know, like,
okay.
Yeah, the people rely on the king. He's more of a, like, he's no great warrior, but
he's a good man.
it's good, very, very good, and he takes care of people, you know. And they would be devastated if anything were to happen to him. Especially the other kobolds, but also, it's not a normal royalty. Like, he's not king by blood. He's chosen, elected, and his, I guess you would say, competitor, it would not have been so welcoming to the refugees when they came. So I guess many of the non-kobold members of our community would be especially concerned if something were to happen, because they might be out of a home.
So,
Surely we cannot leave these people to their struggle.
what? So, hang on. When did we find? Do you have a letter, or did Akak say this in person?
They told me in person. There was I think there was a letter of ransom for the statue.
There's
We're gonna need a
that
bigger
statue.
cart.
I walk outside and I point at the statue that's like 20 foot tall.
Yes, but our fine gentleman here, Mr. Blacksmith, has told us not to give that away. That
Well,
would be
now
bad for
knowing
the
that
town.
the king is gone, does he anything to say now about the statue?
Yes, like I stand by what I said before. You can't take the statue to Malachi's Rest.
I honestly don't think we can take the statue to Malachi's Rest, even if we wanted to. Look at it! And I point again.
Perhaps a question. Would it be possible to make an ersatz statue, perhaps? Build another statue, shrink it down, and give that to him.
I don't think we have time to build another statue.
Yeah, that one took me a good 3 years to get all the details right.
So what's so special about that statue? If you build
Took
it,
3 years to build.
What was that, Fizz?
I was just, layman's craftsman. Like, it took 3 years to build. That's what's so special about it.
Yes, but it would shrink the
Wheelchair.
statue to take it to him. So, in its shrunken form, maybe a carving set in sand to make a steel mold?
Yeah, instead of building a whole statue, why don't we just build a little miniature and then grow it instead of building a full size and then shrinking it?
We couldn't take the full-size statue to him anyway. We'd have to shrink it. So
Yeah, when does he want this by? Like spring or Taiji?
I can't remember. Did it say in the letter?
Needs a memory module? as
Yeah.
well?
Roll history, Taiji. See how good your memory is.
Speaking of history, you'll note that I've written in the game log that while this discussion takes place, Kadam uses his new woodcarver's tool.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I didn't write that in my notes.
What if?
Okay. So from what Akak told you, there was no time frame put on it per se. It was like, if you want your king back, bring the statue to Malachi's Rest.
Yeah,
So
just
I'll pass
logistically,
that on.
like is this like Egyptians with ropes and logs and
And it's just gonna carry it over an icy tundra.
so? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like seems like an undertaking.
Well, we could go there and try and free the king by just saying that we've rocked up to let him know, the Lich, that the townsfolk will be bringing the statue along as soon as they can move it. They should be probably a couple months behind us by the time they get it here. Might give us some time to get the king out.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I might be new to this. I'm sorry, everyone. And she's gonna walk over to the forge and put her hand in and pull and just pull out Wallamir and drop a flaming Wallamir down the ground. And he's like, yes, I'm back. And she's gonna talk about the little problem, and he goes, right, well, I had a friend named Troy, and we built like a giant statue of a dragon, and then we all hid inside, and then we like pushed it into a camp and we murdered everyone. Well, we could do that.
So this Troy, do you think he can come along and help us now?
Well, you've got woodcarver's tools. We could just get the whole town to help, and we could build on top of the, and she points at the cart. We could just build on top of the cart and make like a big poppy dragon statue, and we could all hide inside it and call it the Troy's Dragon. Dragon of Troy? Yeah. Dragon of Troy.
Still carving, by the way. Carving.
The blacksmith sort of peers over towards Effie, and he's like, "Where did you say you were from?"
Pardon?
Wherever it is, it was hot.
You did.
I didn't say anything. I said we should build a big dragon out of wood and hide inside, and then like jump out and be like, "Grah!"
Lol.
And then I do a stabbing motion with the spear, like this.
Gee, well, it sounds like a plan that might have worked somewhere once.
Or we just get there and then build like a shipping crate. We all climb inside and put a note on the front.
Yes. As long as we jump out, yell surprise, and then do big giant fireballs.
Okay, I got an idea that can actually get the statue there. The dragon that these people worship will be strong enough to carry it. They also want us to kill the Lich. The dragon statue being out front should lure the Lich out. And now we would have the aid of the dragon, possibly, to help in that fight. And we're halfway to the wall at that point.
Okay.
Varric seems to be pretty persistently frowning at this point.
Would you like to speak your mind?
You can't take the statue.
Didn't you say you had work to do?
You're still in my shop.
We must not take the statue.
Listen, there's two statues. We just take the other one.
Do you think the Lich will buy it?
Do you think the Lich was specific? Because I don't.
He doesn't need to buy it, he just needs to be distracted.
Look. All right.
Well,
yeah, you could probably take the statue, but
I mean, that's
can't
assuming-
let him actually get his hands on it. Okay?
I still prefer the miniature statue idea, along with, perhaps, it's worth remembering, there is a militia. We don't have to fight this Lich alone. We can help them help us.
I think you're seriously overestimating this town's militia, buddy. They love the king, but they ain't gonna go fight a lich for him. They'll just take him the statue. Which again, I stress, you can't let them do.
Yes, I'm with the blacksmith on this. Can we not take the statue? Look, I'm halfway through carving one that we can set in sand, make a mold, make the matte statue out of molten steel.
I'd like a performance check or whatever to see how well it looks.
I also don't want to carry the statue, but mainly because it looks really, really heavy.
That is also a good point. But since it would be logical for us to shrink the statue and bring it to him, a shrunken statue could look like the real statue for a moment.
I mean, the real question is if we could shrink it, why didn't he?
Well, we don't need to tell him that.
Phil, what is the value of the statue?
It's priceless.
Not the monetary value.
Like I was saying, it's the focal point of I mean, I know we have the temple, but it's the focal point of the town's worship of a Akantanak. It's what.
And isn't it? That's who would be helping us. That's the white dragon that would be helping us. That wants us to fight the lich.
Yep.
If our Akantanak is cool with it, shouldn't you guys be cool with it?
I mean, you want to venture north and ask him.
Don't you have like a horn?
No, that's the point of the statue, so the people can pray. It just doesn't come on command. Like, I suggest he might not be a god, but he's still a dragon.
You've given us much pause for thinking. Perhaps we should go outside and talk before we make our big decision.
Can I get everyone's passive insights, please?
Passive insight.
18. Insight 18.
19.
16.
17.
Nice.
Okay.
Shit,
Nice
man.
work, guys.
Wow, that's I said passive, not a roll, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, he's not lying about anything he said, but he isn't telling you everything he knows.
Yeah, I just don't want to beat him up. But we can find somebody else to beat
Hey,
up for
then-
information.
This might require a persuasion roll, and I'll say to him, please, if there's anything else you could tell us about this situation, something that could make it less dire, or maybe let us know if it will be more dire.
Go ahead and roll yourself a persuasion check.
He
Okay.
tells you that they're having a new mayor election tomorrow. And this happens once a month.
Let's just say my persuasion's nowhere near my insight. I rolled a 12, and that's a +0.
Do you wanna? You got inspiration or anything?
Probably. Oh, I don't.
Or do I?
Sad.
What's that? What was that? Sorry.
Inspiration. Has anyone got it?
No,
No.
use mine.
Use yours. So you've used one this session, Mob. We were talking about adding in like a hero point system for now. Let's just say everyone gets one inspiration token a game.
I use one.
And Mod, that will include like you use one that you already had, so you get another one now with everyone else. So you're using yours. Go ahead and here's what I'm going to say for simplification's sake is you can use these not just to re-roll, but to auto-succeed if it's a particularly poignant moment or not. And I'm going to tell you that this is. So if you want to,
When you
use it to auto-succeed.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm using this insight.
Absolutely. So you're basically imploring him to give you any information that will help you deal with the situation, or not, at least not make it worse. Blah blah. Like, you want to know what's actually going on. And he seems to take a moment to consider what you say, and then he just sort of like he ushers you all inside and closes the door so that these other offsiders can't hear. It's like, the statue contains a relic. A relic from another time and another place. Yes, it's a focus for the people's worship, but that's not why you can't take it to Malachi's Rest. Are any of you familiar with who Malachi was? Looks around at you.
I don't know.
May I roll religion to check that?
Yeah.
You can certainly roll religion to check it, but
I would.
you probably won't get anything. But yeah, go for it.
Can I roll history to see if I would know from the local area or from what I know?
Sure. Or from your data banks. Yep, sure thing.
I believe you mean where Malachi is.
Nope. Not on a 6.
Not who, where. It's a place.
Second, 20 for 6 for Taiji.
Is Malachi the Lich?
No, it's
Malachi's
Malachi's
a place.
Rest.
It's where we're going.
Malachi's
Well-
Rest is the name of the Lich's
Correct.
lair. Yeah.
I'm not disputing that. I'm curious if Malachi, who is resting, happens to be the Lich as well, or if Malachi was a different person.
Hmm.
Right. So you can also roll me history.
And Effie doesn't know any of this stuff, so she was just correcting you guys because you kept saying who, but it's a where.
And with this so far, might be having to do some whispers in a minute. We'll see. Okay, that history, Ralph.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. I was thinking about Poland. I was never mind. I had a whole other plan in my head.
Okay.
History coming.
Did you say you're thinking of porn?
One.
Alright, yeah, cool. Alright,
No,
so
I did not finger a prawn.
one at a time, I'm going to be grabbing Kadam and then Ralph down into the Whispers channel. So if the rest of you would like to continue role-playing amongst yourself, the shopkeeper dude is got more to say, but if we just sidetrack for a minute while I do this is important. Where's the buttons?
I got my DM.
Wait, so am I role playing or is Mark talking? What's happening?
No, he's gone. He's going down.
Okay. Effie says, I want to play that sport that those kids are playing, and runs out back and sees a little metal football and runs up and kicks it and is like, why would anyone play this game? Ah!
Hang on. I got nothing I can do to move the ball either. I was gonna cast a spell and move the ball.
Oh no, my foot's bleeding. I should have bought boots. I should have bought boots. Why did I?
And little kids are kicking this fine? Like,
They're kicking it fine. I saw him out the front. It wasn't this ball, but and the ball's like fully welded to like a metal platform. It's just like it's like
you
the
kick
trophy.
to the statue.
Yeah, I
Yeah, so
kicked
they're like,
statue,
this is the
I
field.
broke my foot. Ah. What did I do? And the two kobolds are just like staring like, this person's a fucking idiot.
It's awesome.
I don't think that one moves. I don't know why you'd kick it.
Well, maybe if we take this one out the front, we can get the kids to kick it and they can show us.
I don't.
Give me a
think
hand
that
with it.
moves.
Still furiously carving, everyone.
I'm using the spear to try and jimmy it up to get a finger underneath the edge so I can pull it out the front for the kids.
I think the two workers would probably try and stop you on that point.
Yeah, most likely. So Taiji, Akak came to you and told you the king's missing last night, and then everyone just went to bed, and then we went on a shopping spree. Is it the power cell? Is your memory? Is it okay? And I go up and sort of tap one of the heads.
I've only got one head.
Do you need me to cast like a spell on your head to make it work better? Like, and I start like,
No,
I'll try a lesser restoration.
no, it's fine. My head is fine. I thought Akak would have told you in the morning before he went off,
You'd think he would,
but
if his king's missing.
obviously he didn't.
Could-
But while
could
I
you
have
run up and-
have you here by yourself, our undead friend over there,
Yeah.
I have a plan you might be able to help me with. I've spoken to him and he said that I can help him feel better. I'm going to try and make him feel better. I have this spell that I want to try on him that maybe you could give me a hand with to give me advantage.
Yeah.
I can remove curses. So I'm hoping that maybe he's been cursed.
So, what I don't understand is how was he always like this, or was there something that
no.
happened?
He was normal, I guess
Yeah.
you'd say. We've been in a few fights. He's been stabbed and bitten and prodded and stuff over a few fights. I couldn't exactly tell you when it's happened that he's turned.
Like, is this so? It's new.
Someone has
He-
to put in a lupus joke.
It's not lupus. So it's new. Is it a
Yeah.
result of the fighting? Like, is it something he did to himself, or did it happen when you guys were all together fighting? And maybe
I don't think it happened from him. I suppose I'd have to roll on. I'd have to roll on history or religion or something to see if I know more about the actual bite that turned him. I'll just roll on it and then see what Mark says when he gets back. Because if I know that it would have been a bite from the bat, then we can obviously work from there.
well, I rolled a 16. I'm gonna say,
I rolled a 16.
yeah, I lived on the fire plane. I've seen some shit. Like, there's a very good chance that the only reason he's alive is that he took on this new form that he wasn't before. So he's now undead. So if he wasn't this form, he would be full dead.
But that,
But
what,
I
who's
don't
dead, huh?
think he's fully undead.
We seem to have separated because they're talking about me like I can't hear them. So
You're really focused on your wood carving.
Yeah.
And we're just whispering.
yeah.
I just think, like, I'm not one to judge, but he doesn't seem evil, so I don't really care.
My God is at odds with the undead, and I can't fathom working with them. If I can help him to become normal, that is what my god requires of me.
So, I'm a big fan of hypotheticals, which is like stuff that hasn't happened, but we talk about it like it has. So, would your god be happy with you if you killed a lich, but the only way to do that is by working with an undead good person?
But
Because to me, that seems like a big win for your god if they don't like undead. Is there such a thing
as a good dead person? Or is it
No,
just...
I stick with me here. Stick with me here. So, would your god rather the lich be alive and this person be dead, or this person be dead and us not able to kill the lich?
At this point, I'd say roll me a perception check.
Yeah.
or an insight check. Whatever's worse, to see if...
Whatever's worse.
Yeah, whatever's worse.
Okay.
To see if you pick up on the fact that they're talking... they might be talking a little bit about you.
Well...
Where are they? Because they were on the
I have
soccer
no
field.
idea.
As you say, whatever's worse. So, let's go with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my hero point on that persuasion check.
Holy shit.
Oh, dear.
I think this is one of the most important things in the game.
So, Mark,
Okay.
we were talking about, when you were away, we were talking more about when we've noticed that he's changed. So Effie was asked, because obviously Effie wasn't there, she's asked me when. I said, I don't know, he's been stabbed, bitten, prodded, like, in fights. He wasn't always like this.
There was an alien probe scene.
It wasn't him that did it to himself, but I rolled a 16 on religion to see if I know anything about his disease, like if I knew it was the bat that did it or whatever. So we can sort of go from there with what I know.
Right. We've already done some religion checks on the whole nature of his vampirism, undeath, blah, 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 right?
We have done a little bit.
Previous sessions.
What about with my persuasion check that I just hero pointed? His religion check on my hypothetical. On would his god be pleased if he worked with an undead person to kill a lich as a necessity?
Okay, I see what you're going for here. Alright, so... Alright, I've got a couple of things for you. One, with the... Out of all the things that have happened to him, all the times that you've seen him, you know, like, be vulnerable to an enemy, to potentially be exposed to something like this. The only one you can think of that might possibly have done it would be when you were fighting the gnolls. There was a lot of undead fuckery going on there, and one of them seemed to be pretty keen on eating flesh, and if you might recall, when you beat it down, it turned into a mist and fucked off. So chances are that was when.
Now, with that religion stuff, would I know if he's just automatically like totally undead? If I go to cure him, is he just going to die, or is it a progressive thing where he's not quite undead, but he's building there?
You make a living.
Well, I don't know exactly what it. I'm just thinking that I might be able to cure him.
What did you get? A 16. All right, so a couple of things. One, rolling with what Mod was saying before, you do know that Paylor is not like super fussy. It's like undead should not exist, right? But he also cares for the people, and knows that his servants have to make certain choices in order to protect the most people. So part of your tenets is to, protect the people, protect the common good. So you are free to weigh, you know, like pros and cons of situations and make your own decisions without it being inherently bad. You know what I mean? So like you know that you like basically the question that Effie was posing of what would Paylor kind of prefer. He doesn't say specifically what he'd prefer. He just wants undead dead, but in accordance with the rest of his tenants, whatever's going to protect the most people.
Yeah,
is generally your go-to.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the nature of vampirism itself goes, I don't think, because it's not super common in the rest of the world, I don't think a 16 is going to be enough for you to know exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But from stories you've heard, it generally takes more than just being bitten for one to become a full-blooded, like, murderously evil vampire.
Okay.
You don't know if anything more took place when Kadum was bitten, but you know that it would require more than just being bitten or taken down by one for a full transformation to take place.
Yeah.
So that suggests that he's perhaps like halfway. You know, he's one foot on either side kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that. So some of you have wandered out to the football field where all the kids are. I heard someone broke their foot.
No, he kicked it. He kicked a metal ball in the yard, thinking it was a soccer ball, like from out there.
Oh right, yep, gotcha. Yep, cool. So at this point, yeah, like, so we should throw to a break soon because it's like 10 o'clock. Philbus would go into a little bit more detail about the statue, and he would let you know that it was built by him quite a while ago, not just as a focal point for the villagers' worship of Akanthanak, but as a means of hiding this relic. This relic that you can't let the Lich get its hand on. It's part of something that is known to be a bane to dark forces. And as far as he can tell, the only implement capable of stopping some of the greatest threats this world may ever face. But it's only one piece, and he's hidden it in the spear that the statue holds.
Wait, the item that's a problem is just in the spear.
Well, it's not a problem. We don't want it to, like, its potential salvation is what you're not getting.
If we remove the spear
And give him the statue.
Do you think
Guys,
perhaps...
He's a wizard. They're smart.
yes.
I'm not carrying that statue.
Thank you, Ralph. I'm glad someone else said it. I think the reason he wants the statue is twofold. One, it has the relic in it. And two, if he were to come close to getting his hands on it, it would probably draw out a Kanthanak. And as you said yourselves, they are enemies.
Well, I can't dispute that.
Oh, ha ha.
So should we, like, before we get too far into the planning, should we just go confirm the king's actually missing? Like, we're having this big conversation with Wheels here. And
we're waiting for Akak to come back. He's going to be the one that can tell us.
We're literally holding up people
Akak's
from
on the
work.
track, and he'll come back with the yak, Mac.
Take out the papers and the trash.
Alright, folks. So, with that little bit of a reveal about the nature of the statue and what's in it, and the digression into, well, shouldn't we be blah, blah, blah. We are going to take a short break while we figure out what we're going to do next.
All right.
Be it go figure out what's going on with the king, or keep making plans, or shop some more. And we'll be back with you in like 10 or 15 minutes. And we're back, folks. Fizz. You already soundboard. Love it. Yeah, it's a good synthesizer, right? Alright. Anyway, guys, we're back. We're gonna jump straight back into... Yeah, we can jump straight back into where we were. So we were discussing what to do with this whole king missing, lich, dragon, situation. So yeah, you guys had some thoughts?
Yes, I think we should rally who we can. Still carving as I speak. We have militia, we have, if we can find this dragon, maybe an extra ally. And what if we defeat this beast, this lich, with power, more than our own power, but that of the people we're defending.
That doesn't sound evil to me.
Insight.
Still carving, by the way.
Go ahead and roll it. And roll to me, persuasion, or deception, depending on whether you're being honest or not about your feelings.
Because does this undead thing want to go after the undead thing?
Both. Oh, sorry.
Oof. That's an insight check and a half.
You gotta beat a 26.
I just saw a custom roll, Jeff. It doesn't tell me which one it is, so can you give me one of those skill rolls just to me, please?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay. So, this one. And you can... Oh, you can... Yes, okay.
So where is everyone at the moment? Is everyone's inside now, aren't they?
Yeah, everyone's inside. The other two, like the younger kobolds, are outside working. You're inside with Philbus. And with Ralph, he appears to be telling the truth. At least he believes what he's saying.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'll turn around and I'll be like, Kadam, I know you're carving away there, but would you be able to go and check out the cart outside there in the thing that we'll be taking, and possibly start unloading it for us for a second while we'll be out in a second? And I'll have to, do you want me to roll something? Persuasion or?
No, it's all. Let him respond.
Yeah, I got.
If I may,
Sorry.
Kadam, fully knowing pretty much what he's getting at, is nonetheless going to use his mighty trunk to just blow the sawdust off what he's carving, and quickly put his tools away. No. Just carve. The three of us can go unload the wood. Right? It's gonna get unloaded quicker, and you can sit and carve. You're already sitting and carving. You know?
Oh. Then I'm gonna walk out towards the cart.
Whatever would assist best. Don't talk about me too much.
And I'll start walking out as well then.
I go also.
Philbus stays inside.
So when we're out near the car, we're like, guys,
I've got my fingers in my ears.
I might have a spell that can cure our is friend. I don't know, but I might be able to put him back the way he was. But I just want consensus of, Do you think
Right.
it would be better for us to do this now, or would his talents be able to help us in our fight to come?
I think we should possibly leave it until after the wall.
But that might be too late.
No, he's got a point. He could just walk up the wall.
It could be really handy.
Fuck, we're gonna need more time. I take one of these pieces of wood and I throw it over the wall.
Oh no.
Keep him busy, I say. Give him another piece of wood.
And this coming from Ralph, that's all, kill the fucking monster. I was expecting a drawn line going one way, one the other, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, I've got to decide. but they're both like, okay, let him go.
I've always been on the side of I don't really care. However, if the wall walking thing is a new thing, I say we go with it. It seems helpful. And if we're going to be climbing a sheer wall, he might be able to just like walk people up and carry them up, and then
my
he
brother
can even walk wheels up and point over at wheels.
My brother has a portal that we can just walk through and be there, depending on how high it is. We won't even need to climb. It's just
have you ever seen Game of Thrones? It's like that, but taller.
From memory, like you only are you muted, Mark?
I think he's talking to someone else.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's talking to Jeff, and they're both muted. But what
he is.
What if we just he seems to be good. Like, do we really need to look at Gift Horse? Like, maybe if he didn't become this new thing, he'd be dead right now, and would have one less person to fight the Lich for some reason.
But I know from things I've read that he might not be fully undead yet, and that we could help him return him to what he was. If we wait too long, he might not be able to become back, and then I will have to kill him.
Even if you were to cure him now, is that going to bring back our Yahsob, our good friend, the scout?
That I could not tell you. That would be left to the gods.
Okay.
So,
but due to my god, I know that he might not be fully evil yet, and that we might be able to fix him. But leave it too long, and he might be irreversible, and then I would have to kill him.
Wait, did we just leave him with the little kobold? And I run back inside.
Yeah, perfect. I'll bring Jeff back across now. He's just ducked out to the bathroom. You get back in there. You find the Philbus is just he's just over at one of the tables, so it's just like arranging things in the shop and tinkering a little bit with stuff. And Kadam's exactly where you left him, carving away on this little thing he's been carving. And anyone who pays even a cursory glance will see that he is actually carving a replica of the statue outside, and it looks pretty good. It's not like a masterpiece or anything, but it looks pretty good. You can definitely tell that that's what he's been trying to carve. And I think Jeff has taken advantage of being in the quiet. All right, there he is, perfect timing, because Ralph walks into the room.
Hello there. Still carving. How's it look?
And I'm looking at you and not the statue for a moment. The statue looks like a statue. That's definitely better than I could do. Heard from Yahsob lately?
What's
Asking for a friend.
Yahsob? Do I need to roll a history check, or do I just not know Yahsob?
You need to
We've had
roll.
conversations about this.
I'll help him. I'll remind him. You remember Bertha at the
Body
strip
you're in.
club?
Mod, remind me of the conversation, please.
In all the conversations about him being possessed, we've talked about Yahsob being his body.
Okay, so Kadam is now aware of Yahsob's existence.
Yeah,
He doesn't have any of his memories. Yeah.
quite a few hours of discussion about.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Point, yeah.
So there you go, Jeff. Take that into consideration with your
You
answer.
could still roll history if it's an elephant thing, having a bad memory. Is your trunk
Yeah.
tied in a knot?
I think it's a me thing.
Yeah.
No, okay, so, I'm afraid not. I have very little memory even of Yahsob. Only his name and his great deeds. Mightiest of deeds.
I'm
But you
gonna
remember nothing. You just know he did them. Sorry.
I'm gonna kneel down outside. Seems though it's a new day, and I'm going to do divine intervention to see if I can ask my god for help in seeing if I can cure our friend in there and get back our guide
Okay.
or something, or yeah.
Yep. All right. Go ahead. Roll. Your divine intervention. I imagine you'd probably go up to the little shrine you made.
Well, that's
To do this, or
yeah, that'll give me a bit more power. So I'll
We'll
have
literally
to.
set it up right outside this guy's shop anyway.
Well,
yeah,
no,
it's up. It's up a couple of ridges, but it's it's not too
Yeah.
hard to do that. And like in amongst the shopping and there will be other explorations of town. We can you'll do this at a point. And
Yeah.
since we're sort of discussing those things, we can do that now. I think that's all right. So go ahead and roll me a divine intervention as you settle into pray to Paylor.
Oh, 11. Ooh, that's right on my level.
Very good or very bad.
No, I think that's
it's
it.
good.
You have
It's
to-
got to be
you
under
have
my.
to
It's
roll-
level or under.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I got to roll equal to or less than 11.
Well, hang on. Is it?
Excuse me, everybody. Excuse me, everybody. We're going to need to throw to a short break while I figure out what the. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So, just give me a moment because this is actually kind of really cool.
Yeah, we get to see how God actually interacts.
Just while
In this
your
world.
God's working this out, can I just tell everyone mechanically in chat? I didn't realize this. I thought you were playing a multi-class and role-playing it, so it was like a level 6 something, level 5 something. But you've actually got a level 11 wizard and a level 11 life domain cleric that you can switch between.
So
Yeah,
that was
Action.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was either an arcane cleric, right, or a divine soul sorcerer, right?
I'm
what I
a,
thought.
I'm a war wizard or a life cleric.
Both are level 11, so it's not actually a multi-class. It's actually you're playing two characters.
I
that you
had-
can switch between as an action.
I had 2 characters, yes.
Cool.
He's a combiner.
Oh no, I just didn't know that mechanically. I thought it was like you had a level 6 cleric and a level 5 something, and you're as an action switching between them and using the rolls. I thought,
Yeah, no, so he can only do that switch so many times a day, and he's limited to his single spell slot pool.
I was
yeah.
giving you time to do your.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Buddy, you're right.
I'll continue to do that while you actually, yeah, cool, thank you.
Yep. Yep. So that's what I thought.
So tell
thought
us
he
more
was
about that, Jace,
Arco
while we wait for
domain
Mark to
cleric.
decide
Yeah,
what he's
so-
doing with it.
So, just to let everyone know in chat, so yes, I've got the 2 when they were on top of each other. My left arm,
Love.
yeah, my left arm was the cleric, my right arm was the wizard. They'd taken off the arms off each other and put them on the other person. So when they were standing there on top of each other, they had one arm of each that they could use the spells from. Which is why if I held up my left arm, I'd only cast cleric spells and the right arm was the wizard. Now that they've joined together because they've only got one power source, so I can only change using a turn the amount of times of my modifier a day.
Now, just to be clear, is it using a turn or using an action?
Using a whole, well, it's the whole turn. So if I want to change in a fight, that's my whole action, bonus action, movement, everything. I just pretty much shut down for 6 seconds to do the swap, and then next round I'm back as the other one.
But he doesn't have to do that because he can just do it anyway.
Once per day, I can use a single
I thought it
spell off the other class without changing.
Nice. I thought it was like, you know, proficiency bonus times a day.
No, just once per day. I can use a spell from the other one, drawing in, but using my spell slot that I'm actually in. So if I'm a cleric and I want to use a fireball, I can do that and use one of the 6 level spells or whatever of my cleric. So I've got one less spell as my cleric.
So did you say that you could use your modifier times or proficiency? Because you said both. Like, is it done wisdom, proficiency, intelligence?
It's my proficiency bonus, so 4 times.
Oh, yeah, so 4 times. Okay, cool. So that's how many times you can cast a spell and how many times you can...
That's how many times I can switch. I can only cast one. I can only cast one spell off the other one a day if I'm in the.
So does that mean 2?
No.
1 from each?
Just 1.
Like you could be the cleric and cast 1 wizard.
No.
And then be the wizard and cast 1 cleric.
No, just.
No, just
spell.
once.
Just once from the other side.
Fair enough.
Nearly there, guys.
But also, if I switch between characters, any damage I've taken gets deducted off the other one when I switch because they've only got one body. So I'm not getting 2 lots of hit points and that sort of stuff. It all carries over.
And the only other thing I was going to say was, what about spell slots?
Yeah, well,
one pool. So like you can't use both characters sets of spell slots. So any spell slots he's used already when he switches, those uses get carried over, same levels, like equivalent. So if he's used 3 first level spells in 2 seconds, then he marks them off on the new character sheet and acts as if he's used those spell slots.
I don't think you can use 3 first level spells in 2 seconds.
What?
That went over my head too.
Instead of end 2 seconds.
Found another one.
Seconds. Anyways, excellent.
Okay.
And last
Or
thing,
liquor
can I
bottles.
just to put it in context before Mark says, the thing you prayed for was information about whether we could help.
No, not could help, but whether me doing it is going to bring back our guide, or just kill him outright.
How fucking awesome would it be if Pella was like, no, it wouldn't bring him back. You realize you could have just asked me to bring him back and I would have done that for you. Better luck next time. Peace out. You can't use this again for 7 days. Peace out, homie.
I want a god to show up mad. Like I was in the fucking hot tub. What the hell do you want? You know,
He shows up in a towel wet. He's like, and it's cold.
And summon the right god, and you know you just might. Can I get a D100 from Kadam, please?
A D100 from
Yes.
I'm sorry if that wasn't meant to be public.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, cool. That's great.
It's always concerning when the GM says that.
Okay, so
Is it good for him or us?
you're about to find out. Taiji,
Same goals.
it's what my story would do.
blinding flash of light. It surrounds you, like you're like completely surrounded by this halo of blinding sunlight. inside a mountain.
Nice.
Okay, the nearby priest sort of hisses a little bit. He's like, "Oh, no, I'm just gonna go inside." Skitters off inside as well. This is going on.
All the kobolds with their sunlight sensitivity.
I'm just like, what the fuck? I assume the others are not up here with you. It's probably a very good thing that Kadum isn't currently with you. Kadum, as this happens, are you still down in the shop carving?
That's right.
All right, so you drop what you're working on, sort of shoot bolt upright, and your eyes roll into the back of your head. Flicking
What
back,
the fuck?
flicking back to, and you see him start to sort of convulse a little bit, but you also see him start to crackle with electricity, and he's vibrating really intensely. Back
I
to,
push Phil outside.
Yep,
And then
no problem.
get ready to stab Kadum.
Okay, cool, no problem. All right, now we're going to flick back up onto the ridge up here. Taiji, you get a blazing impression of the symbol of excuse me, sorry, the symbol of Palor flash across your mind. You don't get Palor himself present to you, right? But you see this flash, and you can feel his presence all around you, and it's like, I hear you, child. Your friend. His situation is complicated. I am unable to directly intervene at this time, but know that there are magics that, as you grow stronger, would reverse this kind of thing. A spell like in your tongue, true resurrection, would be an appropriate way to do this. That may allow me to intervene directly. However, we're going to flash back to the blacksmith shop. Kadum,
That's me.
your mind, like, you've lost the shop entirely. You're no longer there. I mean, you are, but like, to you, you're not. You are instead charging across the final battlefield. The final battle between good and evil, where you are Cord's champion. You are charged with his might, charged with his power. Your thunderhammer rages, it swings about you. There is no trace of the hunger you once felt. Ralph, Kadum hasn't moved. He's still just crackling, vibrating. Nothing's happening. His hammer sits on the ground next to him. It's also crackling, but again, not looking like it's going to move. But you also can see a faint image of a Loxodon that looks like Yahsob, standing like opposite where Kadum is sitting, holding a replica of the same hammer, but this one has a symbol on it that I'm not sure if Kadum's shown you called symbol at all, but can you remember what that is, Jeff? Called symbol?
Actually, I've got it right in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure how permissions go in terms of.
It's fine. We can. Yeah, don't share the image. Just tell me what it looks like roughly.
Oh, that's easy. Okay,
Yeah.
so now it's a shield.
Yeah.
It's got 5 rubies set in it. 1 large ruby in the middle,
Mhm.
and 4 set north, south, east, west that are small.
Cool.
And
Right. So
between those, going northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, are 4
What is it?
blue lightning bolts. It's a shield with
Shield with lightning bolts. Got it.
and rubies. All right. So that symbol, like an approximation of that, doesn't actually have rubies set into it or anything, but like an embossing of that is on the head of this hammer that you like, this transparent hammer that transparent Yahsob is holding, and you can see him just watching whatever's happening with Kadam.
My spear is like now between the both of them, and
Yep.
I'm not sure who to stab.
Sure. Right, we're gonna flick back up to the top. My child, I will tell you this one thing. If you can gather the required material components for that spell, I will aid you in casting it before you would naturally be ready.
I'm gonna scream for Effie. Figured I'd mention that.
And what spell components do I need, O mighty savior?
I'm sure your studies can tell you this. It's your world, after all. So, with that, he's also going to give you brief flash of Yahsob. Yeah, like the original Yahsob in his form, and his spirit floating through what is, for all intents and purposes, like like the plains of Celestia.
Did he just say he gave him his soul? Like he's got like a... So is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying he's showing him a depiction of Yahsob's soul being in basically the equivalent to heaven. And so so I will leave you with the knowledge that this is where he is. If you wish to bring him back, I will aid you in doing so.
Yes, thank you. I'll try and get those ingredients together.
At the same time, you hear a booming voice. As the presence of Palor kind of fades and the light begins to diminish, you hear a booming voice, but only you hear this, Taiji.
Mm-hmm.
You hear, God also help. And then nothing. Back down the bottom. Kadam.
Yeah.
You stand at the pinnacle of the final battle. It is won. The light is victorious.
I raise my hammer to the air and feel the lightning.
You feel the pride and the power of Cord coursing through you. Like you feel that he's incredibly proud of you for achieving this moment. And then behind him, you see a mind-bogglingly massive bronze great worm.
I've got a bad run with worms for those who at home.
Not that kind of worm. By great worm, I mean the most ancient of dragons. Yes. And you can see this dragon unfurl its wings and then wrap them around you and Cord, and then you can see other figures being taken into these same wings. You see a shining knight, I suppose, emblazoned with symbols of the sun. You see this knight holding the hands of two smaller armored figures. You see what else is it? You see a cluster of people holding hands over the top of a shield that bears a particular emblem that seems to be a derivative of the Common Alliance emblem, but it is not exactly the same. You see a small brazier lit with fire, and you see a picture, like an image of the world, and it seems to be like a like a small blue sphere with like land masses, clouds, like you'd imagine, if your character had a concept of space, what the world you're currently on might look like from afar. And you can see that it's cracked. You can see that the cracks are seeping darkness, and they're spreading across the world. But you can see as this great worm brings their wings around all of you, a light infuses from this dragon into all of you and then through into the planet, and the light begins to flow up from the cracks. And with that, you snap back to consciousness. You remember all of this, and for the briefest moment, you can see the spectral image of Yahsob before you finally come to. Ralph, as this happens, the crackling vibrate.
He sees the spectral image of Yahsob, but I see the spectral image of Kadum.
No, you both see the spectral image of Yahsob.
So Yahsob is carrying Kord's hammer? Spectral Kord's hammer?
Looks like it. But it's a spectral image of.
That's out of place, right?
What? Kord's hammer.
The Kord's hammer should be with Kadum, not Yahsob.
You would think. Like, as far as your out of character knowledge goes. And any, like, Kadum's been the one, that's mainly been talking about Yahsob. So, yeah, it was, and it wasn't the same hammer that.
So then, how do I know that's Yahsob?
Because it looks like Yahsob.
And so does the other guy.
You get a feeling, you get a sense that it's Yahsob. I don't know. It was Yahsob. You just knew.
Just go with the flow.
Like it was dressed in.
I was till the switch. Right now, I'm confused.
All right.
What happened to Mod?
Kadum.
He disconnected.
He's on the couch, spazzing out, having the seizure. Yahsob, in spirit form, holding Kord's hammer, is standing opposite him. That's what you're saying.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and that makes no sense to me. I don't know what to do with that.
It's fine.
I don't think anyone can be expected to know what to do in that exact situation. I mean, maybe call Triple O. Oh, you guys on one.
Anyway, as Kadum snaps back, the lightning stops, the vibration stops. He sees that for the briefest second before it too fades. And Ralph, you're left standing in a room where, like, that's just happened. But he's back, seems to be back to his, at least the same way he was a few moments ago. Except perhaps maybe a little bit, I don't know, however he's going to react to that whole thing he just saw.
This is absolute shit, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I called for Effie, and she never came. And now nobody's gonna believe this shit again. That's what I'm thinking.
Sorry, I was disconnected when that happened, so Effie totally would have brought in.
Yeah, so we can certainly say that Effie was there to witness it with you. That's fine.
Sweet.
Yeah. So that's happened, witnessed by both Ralph and Effie.
So she's a Yahsob's witness now.
Yeah, 100%. And so now we're gonna flick back up to Taiji. So as the presence of Palor and this last voice fades, you feel a final gift from Palor, a spark of his essence, so to speak. I'm not going to tell you what it does. Just make a note that you have that you're carrying a divine spark, and it's not something you're physically carrying. It's like it's within you.
Yeah.
And that will do something at a later date. So with that, unfortunately, you haven't managed to immediately cure Kadam, but you have learned how. Been told that you will be assisted to do so if you can acquire the relevant material components, which
I've just had a look at
for your knowledge, yep, it's a diamond worth at least 1,000 gold pieces, which the spell will consume.
that.
I believe.
What?
I mean,
no.
or is it
20
more? No, that's not. So it's normal
25,000.
resurrection. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Okay,
Diamonds
worth
worth
25k. Yeah. So yeah, you're going to need to acquire that in order to pull off that spell. But considering it's a 9th level spell that you wouldn't otherwise be able to cast until level 17, like I think it's fairly reasonable to just make you get the components and have your god help you based off of the roll you just made.
That's what the whole phone call was about. Like, listen, I don't got the money.
Yeah,
Collect-
basically.
Can I collect call this spell? I need to collect call this spell.
What's that?
I need to I know. I just need to collect call the spell. Will you like?
Oh dear, yeah. Try that one. It'll be a 1 you need. Right.
Nice.
So that kind of goes on. What do you guys want to do from there? I guess we back down to the bottom while you wander back down the hill, and see how these guys want to react to whatever the fuck just happened with Kadam.
Yep. I'll go down and see what we're going to do from now.
You muted Jeff. That might have been me.
Speaking of which, am I still 100% Gadam?
Yes, but you saw that flash of Yahsob and you remember everything I just described to you, like vision-wise.
Okay, so at this point I'm probably going to look up at Fizz and say, I saw him! Yahsob! He's trying to get back, and the gods are on his side.
I'm just trying to picture them both. I'm picturing like a second head popping out of this double-headed elephant. It's all bad. The body splitting in two.
I look over at Effie and look back and say, we need to get him back.
Can I walk through the door about now?
Nah, give it a minute.
Okay.
I don't think, like everything that just happened felt good. Like,
Meanwhile, I got like a sweat. My heart's pounding.
yeah, no, like, Ralph, let me try and explain it to you. Okay. Look at Kadam and remember what Yahsob looked like, and picture them. And like, I'm trying to like, okay, now think of that. So, like, he may be undead, but you can sense his essence is good, and that was all sort of good energy, happy energy, like fluffy bunnies and all the chocolate milk happiness. And then look over here, and she points over at Wallamir that's sitting there looking evil as fuck. It's like, this is why I'm not really worried about the undead. Like, I'm a goddamn fire elemental, and I still don't know what the fuck he is, and he's ready to kill everyone in this shop for no reason whatsoever. Whereas Kadam is willing to fight with us against an evil thing. I think we should just drop it. And like, here's the thing.
Drop it. First of all, like, I don't know what Kadam looks like. I only know what Yahsob looks like. Second of all, you didn't see him eyes roll back and start to power up like a damn explosive. Like.
Yeah, well, like, here's the thing. Like, realistically, we use we go do our thing. Apparently, we have to kill a very powerful being. We've already seen this person jump off a cliff to kill a giant birdie. So he's very willing to sacrifice himself. So if he survives again, and this is in front of you, by the way, Kadam.
Of course, yes.
So yes, Kadam, if you survive and you still want to bring back Yahsob and everything, you guys are happy to do whatever you do to kill Kadam and bring back Yahsob, or put them both into the same body, or whatever you guys want to do. I think for now...
Now who's talking rainbows and lollipops?
Me! That's what I'm saying. Look at Wallamir. Look at him. And he's like slowly walking up behind one of the kobolds with a flaming hand, like he's going to stab them through the back, and then sees everyone staring at him and slowly puts his hand down.
Kobold dumps a bucket of water on him.
So you're happy with that?
At this point,
I ignore that.
Not Yahsob, sorry. Kadam will actually speak up and say, "This interchange is futile. We need to focus on two targets. One is to bring back Yahsob. The other is to defeat this lich. And I've been told by someone that liches get stitches."
Yes.
Can I have stepped through the door as he started that conversation? As he started that sentence?
You can step through the door like you would have heard the start of the sentence, but you step through just as he says liches get stitches.
But would I have
You
heard
heard what he was saying on your way.
Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, everybody, I've spoken to my god.
So have you been kidnapped?
I turn and look at Taiji.
I didn't ask my god that.
Sweeps through.
I didn't ask my god that. But
Okay.
he has advised me that we can fix Kadam and get Yahsob back. He's going to help me with a powerful spell that I don't know what I need yet, but we can figure that out. We're going to have to speak to a high-level priest to find out what spell components I need for a true resurrection spell. That's all I've been told. My god will help bring him back as long as I
Your
can
god
get the...
told you to phone a friend?
No, but he told me that if I got all the stuff I needed for the spell, he would help me with it and we could fix him.
Alright.
Yeah, but you're saying that he told you to go find somebody, a high-level priest that can do it?
No. I said I need a high-level priest so I can find out what spell components I need, because I've got no idea. I just know the spell name at the moment.
Well, what if we just went out now that we know that we can bring him back, but we can't do it now? What if we went out and tried to find Akak to find out? Because remember, we're in this big. You guys were in. I don't really care. Like, you guys were in this big hurry to find some metal.
Yes, and we need to get the king back.
At this point,
We
can I
need to
just,
go.
Can I just do a little thing a stunned elephant might do in this situation? Especially one of the religious persuasion. I'm actually going to use my... Is it called thaumaturgy?
Yeah,
Thaumaturgy.
thaumaturgy.
Yep, using that to actually create a rain and thunder sound around me. And start to meditate and pray to Cord.
All right. So you, as soon as you let off the sound, and before you get a chance to start meditating or praying, Philbus almost jumps out of his chair. Go do that outside.
Balls in the forge.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll quickly head outside and do the same thing out in a clear area, perhaps, that's not populated?
Sure thing. Well,
I just want to. Oh, sorry. I just got to retcon quickly. When I'm leaving my little temple I built, I'm gonna put 2 gold pieces onto the base of the little shrine that's up near their temple, just for a.
Sure.
Sorry for the big light. I know you don't like it.
Yeah, cool. That's no problem. They won't come out until after you're gone, but
yeah.
That's good. That's nice.
The sunglasses fun.
Right. Alright, so yeah, Kadam, you can go out and find a clear spot outside somewhere, like, it's just like not indoors to make your thunder sounds. You might attract a few looks, but no one will bother you otherwise.
Can you imagine the next travelers that come here and all the kobolds are wearing sunglasses inside a cave?
Yeah, I know, right?
A question of drama. Now, you said I dropped the thing I was carving, but I haven't had the mind to pick it up yet. So,
And your hammer.
this might be I've definitely got my hammer because I'm praying to God, but I may not have remembered the statue. So it's there in the middle of the room, in front of all of you, looking like a very good master mold for a dragon statue.
It does look like it'd be a decent knockoff. It is there.
I'd be like, so should we go find Akak? We've probably wasted
haven't you been
enough of these guys' time.
That he's gonna come back to us when he's done scouting?
Yeah, but he might not know we're in here, so if we go out to the middle of town, he might be looking for us.
Yep. I'm not standing in town square all day. I'll
That's
just throw
fine.
that out there.
I'll go and wait for him.
Alright.
Let's go have lunch at the inn.
It seems like a robot thing to do. Just stand sentry till he shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds more of
sentry.
a thing to do than have lunch.
No, but they can have lunch.
Let's have lunch.
No, they can have lunch. I'm going to be standing in the middle of the town waiting.
Effie walks outside and sees the kids kicking the soccer ball, and just even though she's healed herself, subconsciously starts limping. And just sort of like shakes her head like these kids must be animals.
They're really just kicking it's like straps of rubber all bound together into a bowl shape. It's gathered so much dirt that it looks all black, and it's a bit shiny from the sleet on it, so it looks like an iron ball from where you are too. And how far they're kicking it, they must be super strong.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they should
everyone,
just send them to rescue the king.
I just can't get off the image of this mechanoid just eating a bowl full of oil with just bits of piston and steel floating with like food.
So I'm picturing him eating like a cheeseburger, and then it's coming out like little White Castles out the back end, like a little factory.
I don't eat.
Oh dear. Alright, so you guys have done all the shopping you want to do here, you got your things. Fizz, your climbing gear will be ready by the time you need to leave town, so that can just be hand wave collected later on, and the cart and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
What I will say is,
it was this cart we were unloading. Sorry.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
some reason I was picturing it over here. That's why I was like, I'll throw it over the wall.
yeah, I gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. When you do come back to collect them, he'll give you enough climbing gear for the 4 of your party members. It will also include a set of special horseshoes that don't need to be like nailed in place. They can be like strapped on, and it just helps Bucket deal a little bit with like snow and stuff like that. It's not going to be a perfect solution. Certainly won't help her with like climbing, but it will at least help her move through like snow and ice a little bit easier.
I thought you were giving her horseshoes with spider climb.
Hell no. He will, however, say that with some more time, he might be able to make some kind of mechanical apparatus that will allow bucket to climb some more sheer surfaces, but it might be something you want to approach slowly, being that it might freak the horse the fuck out. But yeah, it might take a bit more time than just the afternoon. But if you're going to go and deal with the whole king situation, like by the time you're actually heading up to the ice wall, he might have something for you.
Yeah, at that time I would thank him, I guess.
Yeah, sweet. So that'll just be before you end up leaving town. So, Taiji wants to go and wait around for Akak. Does anyone else have anything else they want to check out in town before proceeding up?
Elric walked off to do some praying or something.
Yep. I said he basically he found a clear spot just outside of the shop that he might have gotten a couple of looks, but no one.
Yeah. I thought maybe he wanted to say something. That's why I was bringing it back.
No. You can probably just hear the sound of rain and thunderstorm while I pray to my god.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go look at the statue.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's do that. Let me bring the map up to the town map. That's across as well. Past the tavern to the big statue. Okay, this is kind of good. Yeah, sweet. Alright, so you come up to the statue, and of course this thing is massive. It's like 15 feet tall. It's made of like solid, it's not ice. It's stone that's been polished to such an extent that it almost looks like ice. Like it's like clear crystal, like probably just quartz crystal or something. But it's not all clear. It's like white quartz and clear in some places. The spear itself. Actually, I'm not going to give you full descriptions of it. Yeah, you're at the statue. What do you want to check out?
Well, on the map, what's going on with this black road cut off?
That's hiding some tokens for later. At the moment, you just see out to the road continues out. There's a bridge that goes across the icy, the frozen river thing, and then a path that leads,
okay,
out of town. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I had to ask. I'm standing.
Yeah, no,
right at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good.
So,
So.
Oh, continue.
So Effie, you were here before checking it out, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice anything about it?
Well, it's a dragon. That's about it.
Well, I mean, we know. Okay, so we know that the spear is something. So I just want to look around the statue, look for writing, look at it, look at the spear.
Sure.
Is it? I want to see if I can move it.
All right, cool. So I'll get a perception check from Ralph and an athletics check from Effie.
What are you trying to move?
Sorry.
The whole statue?
Statue, apparently.
Yeah, no, sorry. I meant more assessing it.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Well, in which case, perception or perhaps investigation if you're doing a more in-depth investigation of being able to move it.
Treat that as a
Alright.
0.
Yeah, cool. So, other than the wings, it looks like a pretty nondescript dragonborn. The clothing it wears, depicted in the statue, is kind of like a tight-fitting. What's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a cross between a robe and a monk's garb, like that kind of thing. Again, there's no color depiction because the whole thing's just in like crystal kind of thing. The facial features are depicted as kind and benevolent, and it stands like straight up, holding a short curved blade, like he's holding the handle in both hands, like, and holding it across his chest, like from low to, sort of like from breast to shoulder. And its other hand appears to be like held like in an upwards finger displayed kind of thing beneath the blade. There is some writing around the base of the statue, but it's in Draconic, so only those of you that speak, read, or write Draconic, or those of you that can read Draconic will be able to figure out what it says. You might be able to ask one of the kobolds. Effie, looking at the way it's set in the ground, like this thing is heavy, and it looks like it's not just sitting atop the ground. It looks like a portion of it might go like into the ground, like it's been properly set in place. You're not sure how far down it might. You know how like when you put a post in for a fence or something,
Yeah.
it's like that kind of thing's been done, and you're not sure how deep it goes. Ralph,
I'd just like to say I'm not carrying this anywhere.
yeah, fair. Ralph, the spear that this thing has is not actually. Sorry, I misdescribed it. It's not being held. It's on its back, like it's across its back, and the spearhead points out above the opposite shoulder to where the small blade is being held. And you can see the tip appears to be made of some kind of black crystal, like an obsidian or an onyx or something, instead of quartz like the rest of it. But that's about the only difference you notice, or the only thing that stands out among the rest of it.
Well, I mean, is that the rock that we're headed for?
Go ahead and make me, if you want to like check it out closer, you can make me an investigation check and compare it to what you know about that rock.
100% will climb on the back of this thing. Not like up on its shoulders, but I'll stand on the base and get as close as I can. And what am I rolling? Sorry.
Investigation. And as you're starting to do that, one of the kobold guards up on the stairs up towards King's Home is sort of like slowly starting to walk towards you. And I mean, it could be. It certainly has the right consistency, and it's pretty hard by the looks of it. But you're not 100% sure.
Maybe Phil would know. Oh, hey, speaking of town center, Taiji would be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he would.
Yes, I am.
Fuck, I want to go get Taiji and ask him if that... not Taiji, Phil. And ask him if that's the same rock we're going for. I figure he would know, because he built that statue, and he asked for a piece.
It's entirely possible. I assume you climb down off the back of the statue and go to talk to Taiji, or?
Yeah, I'm expressing that as I walk to Taiji, no, walk to Phil.
All right. Okay, well, Phil's all the way back at the shop, so yeah, cool. As soon as you step off the statue, the guard kind of like stops, nods, turns back, and goes back to his post.
Yeah, like an annoying tourist.
Yeah, right. Okay, I need to ask, how much longer do we feel like we want to go for tonight, folks?
Probably not too much longer.
I can go all night.
I was gonna say we should go a little bit, otherwise we'll have to change the name of the title. It'd be very confusing.
I mean, maybe, or not.
Would this be a good time for me to interrupt everyone by stepping my character in from his prayers? He's finished up and he's come to chat.
You can arrive back at the town square, but I don't want to stop Fizz from heading off to speak to fill this either.
Do that.
Oh, yeah, okay. I wouldn't be object to telling them. I think that black rock we're looking for is on that spear. As I walk past.
Yeah, alright, cool. In which case, alright. Ralph's walking towards the store. We'll stay up here for a little bit and then we'll go back to the store and do that conversation. See where we're at. Yep. So Ralph's going to suss that out, guys, and you guys are still left around the town square.
Yep, I'm just standing there waiting for Akak. Acting like my own statue.
Elric?
Yeah, so I walk in, done my prayers. I take a quick look up and down at the statue. So, do we have any ideas?
I'll like turn my head. I'll be like, ideas about what? We're waiting
Shall
for
we-
Akak.
Oh, yes. From which direction do you think he's coming?
I don't know. He just said wait here for him. He was going to find out more information. Don't know when he'll be back.
And how long has it been?
This morning? What's the time? Is it near lunchtime?
Yes. Lots of time. Oh yeah, it's only lunchtime. Okay, yeah, he won't be back yet. Okay.
Well, he might be. You never know.
I just gotta say, I love how, Kadam's like, so, any ideas? And she's like, no, waiting for Akak. After Ralph specifically told the two of you that he thinks that the tip of that spear might be the stone you're looking for.
Yeah.
He's come to talk to the blacksmith about it.
I'm not very intelligent. I've only got 10 intelligence.
And I've literally just walked in from a prayer session after a bit of a...
Yeah, but Ralph told you about the spearhead as he walked past you. Like, you passed each other. And he told you that. You've forgotten it by the time you've gotten there.
Yeah, but they want to know where the stone is, not just a piece like this. They're not going to be able to do much with one piece of a spear.
I mean, sure, but it's still a clue. Anyway, while you guys are waiting for Akak, back down at Ferric's Forge, Ralph, you walk back in and you'll find Ferric working away on your climbing gear already, or the new ones he has to make.
Already?
He sort of looks over his shoulder, like, yeah, they're not ready yet. You're back a bit early, but can I help? What's up?
Yeah, it's time to go. I was coming to get the goods.
I said, like, I meant later in the afternoon, not like just after lunch. Sorry.
It's been like 5 minutes.
I'm good, but I'm not that good, lad.
The spear tip of legend on that statue.
Yes.
I believe that may be the black metal that we're in need of.
And you see him as it's just like, you know that look you get on your face when you've just had a sudden realization about something that should have been fucking obvious? Like,
Yeah.
You see him get that kind of look on his face and just like, that's why I went through so many tools working that piece.
Where did that piece come from?
Oh,
So you actually made this spear tip?
yeah, yes, but it's what's inside the spear tip that's important.
I gotta ask, what's inside the spear tip?
Well,
The relic.
I'm picturing like you drilled a little hole and shoved something in there now.
yeah, there's a it's let's just say it's a formidable source of magical power, and it's part of a greater whole. It's a gemstone that fits into a fabled spear. We have, like, no one has any idea where the rest of it is around here, but I mean, most of the people here don't even know that that's there.
Am I the only one who gets the feeling that the person looking for the gem?
You're not there.
You're not here.
You're not there.
I'm not here yet.
You're in the middle.
No, you're up at the town square with everybody else, but we've flicked back to the forge where Fizz was going.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep.
My bad.
Oh, good.
Silence.
Yeah, so he lets you know that within that spear tip is this gem that constantly pulses with like both divine and arcane energy, and it's been like he used that material in particular on the spear tip because it was the only thing that he could find, and it was like he only had that much of it that would contain the energy and not make it a glowing pulsing beacon to everything around.
Okay. So where was that piece of metal found? Because that's ultimately what we're looking for, is a vein of that.
He seems hesitant to tell you. Can you roll me persuasion?
Yes.
Very nice.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 23. Okay. That's huge. He beats around the bush for a little bit. He's like, I've collected all sorts of things over the years, and eventually he just kind of gives it up. He can tell he's like not being convincing. He says, okay, look.
I feel like One Eye's like trying to make him remember the letter that I showed him, and my other eye's like the 20 platinum in your pocket.
I don't think you even need that at this point, right? But yeah, based on all of that, and considering where that letter came from, he's gonna eventually his guard will drop. He's like, look, I feel like I can tell you this, and you'll know what I mean. But I'm not from around here. And, he's kind of trying to find the right words. And it looks like his eyes are darting about, like he's making sure no one else is around to hear him, like the other two are off, out of earshot, things like that.
I said they can't hear you, and I kind of like wave my hand like I cast a spell. Just kidding, go ahead.
Okay, sure. It's like, I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not from this world, and I know that I'm not the first person you've met of the same origin, so to speak. And he kind of
I'm a little bit slow, man.
yeah, so he
I'm
reaches.
trying to ask you about where the ore is at, and you're riddling me here a little bit.
I brought it with me from home. It was the last that I had. As far as I was aware, it didn't exist in this world.
Insight.
Go ahead and roll insight. Also roll me history.
Nat 20 the insight.
Okay, he is 100% telling you the truth. And history check 10. You have a vague memory of at some point in your past encountering strange, apparently from elsewhere, materials before.
Yeah. How does he know
Well, he's
that
just
I
told-
know other people from elsewhere?
Do you want to ask him that directly,
Yeah.
or are you asking me?
Yeah. I'm asking.
Okay. He will reach into.
Who are they?
He will reach into one of his pockets and then just flash. It's a small round stone that bears the seal of the Common Alliance, and then puts it away again and gives you a nod and turns back to his work.
Yeah, I yell fuck and I walk out of here. Man, I was thinking, how easy is this? They've got a local vein somewhere. We got a whole mine full of kobolds, or whatever you call a group of them. You know,
You wish, buddy.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry guys that I come back and say to everybody. You probably heard me cuss from the other end of town.
Good
Yeah,
heavens, what was that?
Effie's just sitting there with her bow, trying to work out how to put the spear onto the bow to shoot it.
I like it. I like it. Put a notch in the back. Notches help.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they sold me the wrong size arrow. Yeah, but maybe if I notch it.
And then like, you need flights or fletchings.
Fletchings. So what's our plan? Should we maybe head off somewhere?
As you guys are discussing this, you can see from both over by the watchtower and from just other places milling about town, a bunch of the townspeople, including a couple of the guards from the watchtower, start rushing towards the bridge. 3 of the winged kobolds that had taken up perches on King's Home and the watchtower also begin to fly over across the other side. And let me just reveal some stuff. You can see limping up the pathway and having just reached the other end of the bridge is one of the kobold scouts. He appears to be quite wounded and he kind of collapses at the end of the bridge.
I'll walk over to him and I will.
It's going to take you a minute to get there, like you're,
yeah.
you know.
I was just at the tower, at the statue.
Yeah, you're like 100 feet away and there's a crowd of people gathering sort of in between you and the thing.
Yep.
Couple of them are guards, so I'm going to say at this point...
well, once I get to 60 feet away, I'll just cast Healing Word on him. As I see him, I'm just going to point to him and cast Healing Word.
Yeah, cool. That will help a little, but it's not, going to fully cure him. But yeah, cool. That will be appreciated. So those are flying over. And then you can see among the...
I thought these guys fell in the river. I didn't realize they were flying.
They have wings. They're flying. You can also see among the townspeople and militia that have gathered by the bridge, one of them is a fairly tall, aging hobgoblin. And he appears to be like the one in charge of the militia, like he's giving orders to the other militiamen, and then he's running up the center of the bridge towards the other guy. You chuck the healing spell down. He's still going to be down, but I will apply that healing. 16, okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Second level.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm saying 14. There's a +2 from Life Cleric. Yeah.
My Life Cleric.
Yeah. So you actually see his wounds start to close up, and he gets up to his feet at that point. He's still breathing heavily and sees the hobgoblin and the others approaching. He says, "I'm okay." And he calls out, kind of, Captain Gord. I'm sorry. We I'm the only one that made it back. And he's sort of breathing, panting. What do you guys want to do?
I'll be like, where's Akak? He went looking for you.
I haven't seen him. But we have. I need to. I need to rest. Will you, Captain? With me, please. And him and the captain start to head off towards the watchtower, and they don't say anything much more to you. They obviously, like, they know you're the Rock Slayers, but they don't know what Akak said to you or anything like that, so they're not including you in whatever conversation they're having automatically. So
is this
they head
not?
off.
I'll be
Not one of
like,
the people that went with Akak.
no, Akak
So-
went to find
so-
them.
Yeah, like the scouts went out, like ahead of
Akak
Akak.
wasn't the scout.
No,
Right,
he went out to, like,
Scout the scouts.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Well,
Thought of-
he was going to see what other information he could gather. He wasn't necessarily following the scouts. But
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, they're wandering off towards the watchtower.
I'm gonna follow him. I'm like, wait, excuse me, I can help you.
Um,
And if he
And,
waits
they
for a
look at you.
second, I'll,
roll persuasion.
Fucking heel bot chasing you down. Get over here. You're not healing.
Love it.
persuasion. 18.
Okay, well, like, inside, sensitive matter. Come on, your friends too, if you want to help.
A Russian with.
As I get up to the side of him, I'm going to touch his shoulder and give him a cure wounds at first level.
Thank you. That's not necessary, but thank you.
16.
Yeah, excellent. He's fully healed now.
I'm
All
gonna
right, so
touch his shoulder and tell him it'll be all right.
yeah. All right, so bringing you across to North Watch Tower, so they bring you inside here. Just waiting for it to load. Mainly just so they can discuss with you without fucking talking in front of the general populace. And the other people start, as they come in, they're like, the people look worried, but they start to sort of like go about their days for the most part, seeing that the guard is in fact okay. A few of them are sort of starting to gather outside, though they may be family members of the missing scouts, you're not sure. So I'm not going to bring you guys across onto the map, I'm just going to show you the map here. So the tower is up top. I don't think I've hidden it or anything. There's just like militia on watch up there. There's a few sleeping in the bunk room. There is one guy sort of on watch at the front desk that leads back to a few cages. There seems to be I believe that's a knoll, but a small kind of
In a cage.
there appears to be a small knoll in a cage that has some like weird metal bits attached to him, and some like his eyes are got a weird green glow to him. But he appears to be sleeping at the moment. And then there's the little desk that the captain sits at. That's a door and a mat over the door. No, a mat in front of the door. Yep. And then the hatch next to it is similar to the other hatches you've seen. Oh, that appears to be the underground access point. And so there are 3 doors. There's the main one you guys come in at the bottom, and there's the one that goes up onto the ramp at the top, and one that goes out to the ramp at the side. Access to the barracks by the hatch where all those guys are sleeping. So the hobgoblin captain sits down at the desk and pulls out. I'll say there's another stool around for someone. Pulls that out for the kobold scout, who actually appears to be dressed a little bit better than just a simple scout. Like he's He's wearing almost like military fatigue style pants and shirts with like, you know, extra pockets and straps and all that kind of stuff, holsters for a pair of rather long-barreled revolvers, and a filigreed breastplate, and a set of goggles that sort of fit around his face with a slit visor that appeared to like there used to be like a glowing light kind of behind him and like a pulsing kind of side to side kind of thing, like maybe some kind of scanner or something. It would be quite strange to most of you, I'd imagine. And he starts to, he's like, it's horrible. Oh, so many of them. Yes, the king is indeed being taken towards Malachi's Rest. I can confirm the trail's led off that way. I tried to follow them, but as I did, I was ambushed by the dead risen. Never seen anything like it before. The land out there, it's something's happened. It's not right. The sun isn't shining, and the ground, it's got this growth on it. It's like the earth, the ground is like actually sick. But I just don't. It was horrible. I had to get out of there. But I was. He seems really shaken up. Like whatever. He's just like he's healthy. He's healed. He's like his wounds are all closed, but he's been heavily traumatized by whatever he just faced. The best you can gather from his blathering is that it was hordes of undead that took out his squad as he was trying to move deeper into the region. They left him alone once he started trying to leave. And then he describes this, it's like the lowlands are covered in this purple-black creeping vine that turns what should be ice and snow into necrotic swamp. Is basically the best it can give you from that, and it seems to get worse the further towards Malachi's Rest you get. And they're sorry.
I was just asking, how did you travel through it?
And he points down at his feet, and you can see that his boots are non-existent. The hems of his pants are eaten away and corroded, and he's got burns all over his feet, or like not burns so much as like his flesh has started to slough. He's like, with much pain and all the willpower I could muster, sir.
Did we burn the vines? Sorry, I only asked because I feel like we'll be heading there soon. He kind of like holds his hands up and shrugs. Like he explains, he just once his team were dead, he just got the fuck out of there as quickly as he could. He didn't stop to think about how to deal with it. He just pushed through it and finally made his way home. With this, the hobgoblin captain will like help him into one of the barracks rooms, and it's like the scouts kind of like trying to no, it's fine. I'll just head back to. It's like, look. I know you normally stay at King's Home, but you're not walking all the way back there. Just get in one of the cots, have a rest. I'm sure the King's Guard will be fine for the moment without you. It seems like this guy wasn't just an ordinary scout. And then so he'll shut the door behind him. No one goes off to sleep, and the hobgoblin comes back around and sort of looks at you all. Now, this guy's he's pretty tall for a hobgoblin. I need to go back to the other map so I can actually. I've got a picture of him somewhere else, just so I can remember exactly what he looks like, so I can describe him to you. I have an herbal poultice on me. I'm gonna throw that guy that as he's going in that room. for his
Yeah,
team.
sure. He'll thank you, and he'll go and probably apply that before he goes to sleep, hoping it helps. Now, where is this guy?
That one random item.
All right, there. So this guy's wearing like looks like cobbled together like half plate chain kind of stuff. Looks old, like he's had it for a while. He's got a battered old longsword. Battered old greatsword. That he sort of carries around over his shoulder and just like props up next to the desk. And he's sitting down. The shoulder pads have got like kind of like spiky horn kind of things, like he's taken them from beasts and embedded them into the shoulders. His hair's starting to grey a little bit, and his yellow eyes sort of fix you all with a concerned gaze, and he's just like, "This is grave news. Head of the King's Guard out of action. The king kidnapped. We dare not tell the people. They would panic. Akak told me he told you of the ransom demand. We can't move that bloody statue. What are we supposed to do? And now this creep growing across the what the fuck is that shit?
Do you have a way to call Kuntathorpe?
Oh my god. He just looks at you like, who? No, I'm kidding. I'll pretend he knows who you're talking about. The dragon that the little guys worship? No, he shows up when he wants to and, makes a big show and stuff, but he's not actually a god, you know that, right?
I know that he's strong enough to carry the statue. That's all I know. And
I mean,
he told us he would give us free passage if we could kill the Lich.
Oh, you've met the dragon.
On the way, we were on our way to the North Wall.
Then you've probably got a better idea of how to get in touch with him than I do. I've only been here about 5 years. I've never once seen the dragon.
Been that long since he come and showed himself.
Apparently.
Once every 100 years or so.
Can you call him? Like if we had a wizard, you just like send him a message, you know?
Well, look, you see that thing? And he points at the great sword, like leant up against the wall. So I'm good with that.
Oh no, I was talking to Taiji.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I fully agree. I take my pole arm and just kind of pound it in the ground a little bit.
Robin,
it works. It works. It's effective, like you hit things with them, they die. Don't need to know much more than that. Very effective.
Sorry, I don't have any spells that can send messages.
I do.
I do.
Effie?
Do. Yeah.
Wait. Could you call the dragon for us? Oh wait, were you there?
I was
When
there.
the dragon showed up? Okay, cool.
I don't know why we'd want to. But
to be able to move the statue or ask for guidance in this,
I'll
of
tell
this.
you what I can do is I won't be able to send a message until I've rested up a bit. But what I can do, if we wanted to, is I could scry on the dragon and see where he is.
Interesting. Should you scry on the king?
Oh, I could do that.
You know what else you could do? You could put the statue inside your house. You got a much bigger bag of holding.
I could.
And carry it in your ring, or whatever your thing is.
Deck of cards.
Yeah, deck of cards.
I could. Would you like me to do that?
I mean, it's an option. Honestly, being able to talk to the dragon, I think would be the best thing.
I really, like, I honestly don't want to talk to the dragon.
Oh.
Because
I
what if we
said it
talk
like I
to
know
him
why.
and he says, actually, I want to kill you all. Like, he was giving us a free part. Remember we, like, cast spells at him and his friends?
Dragons are very fickle.
True, but he didn't kill us, and he asked for our help.
But that help could change and he might just not care anymore.
I don't think he'd join the undead army side. Meanwhile, I'm picturing all these kobolds who worship this god, and we're talking about them like... they're all laying in their sick beds.
And I just think we need to, you know,
So-
maybe do some good stuff before we fall on the dragon and potentially be killed.
Well, I think we should gather our gear and head out towards Malachi Rest and see if we can get the king back. Who cares about the statue?
Yeah. I'm okay with that. That sounds good.
Let us go as quick as we can.
I'm just gonna pop up to
Wait, hold
King's
on.
home
You're-
and just make sure the king is actually gone.
You guys are like... I don't get it. More scared of a dragon than a lich?
No, but remember, Bill, whatever his name is, was saying that we can't give him the statue because it has the artifact in it. It protects the town.
Protects the world.
Well, yes. We can't give it the statue, so we may as well just go and just see what we can do.
Does anybody have... I'll ask the, I don't know what he is, Captain, the Hobgoblin. Does anybody have memory or knowledge of Malachi's Rest? Before it was plagued with purple vines and shadow in an undead army?
It'll tell you that is like definitely a new development. The whole Plague Lands kind of thing going on. It's almost like a land of dead men. He'll remark. Like that is a relatively new development. As far as he knows, Malachi's Rest is it's both a monument and crypt to an ancient hero. That's all he really knows about it. He says perhaps the priest at the temple, the local temple, might be able to tell you more about the history, being that from what the captain knows, there's some kind of rivalry between the dragon and whatever's going on in that place at the moment. Maybe it's linked. Maybe the priest will have some old stories or something that'll give you more information.
Well, before we leave, I don't know if anybody else is thinking, but the Knoll, is the Knoll crazy and undead?
No.
Looking at the cage?
No, he looks
Happy?
well, no, he's still sleeping. But no, he's definitely enhanced, but more so in the way of like like that mask that the Kingsguard was wearing, and
Slyborg or something.
yeah, kind of like in terms that us players would understand. Yeah, it looks cybernetically enhanced. To Ralph's mind, the closest approximation he could maybe give it is the kind of gadgets that an old friend of his used to make.
Do you think, I'm going to say to you guys, do you think he'll know maybe more about what happened to Yahsob than I guess Kadam now?
Yes?
I think the more we can find out, the better.
Yeah, so do you mind, Cap?
Hey, what? Do you think he will know?
I
Captain?
asked the captain if he minds. If we like interrogate that guy.
Oh.
I'd probably say like ask him a few questions.
Yeah.
Could infer.
You won't get much cooperation out of it if you wake it. It seems it needs a certain amount of power down, and he actually does air quotes. Otherwise
Yeah.
it doesn't function properly, and it just dribbles nonsense. Even when it does speak sense, it's usually about maiming and killing all of us. The only reason I haven't disposed of it yet is I was waiting on approval from the king.
Probably all those Imperial droid components.
Yes, quite possibly.
All right, well, that's that. So you guys are wanting to just walk off into the snow, or?
Well, it
Like,
depends on
you
what time of
figure-
the day it is. I think we might need to rest and then
Lunch.
head out in the morning.
Yeah, it's barely after lunchtime.
Yeah, let's head out now.
Sure.
How far is it?
I think it's just outside the cave, like 500 feet.
Dreaming.
Could the clerics go get some like holy herbicide or something?
All right. I wanna try and wrap up on a certain point. So, we'll say that we can maybe do a flashback next week of going to see the priest, getting some holy water and such, and asking any questions there. Was there anything else you wanted to, anyone wanted to do in town before you actually leave?
No, I'm good.
I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like we're leaving. The only thing
Yep.
that we have to do is supply up on. I want the holy guys supercharged, right? Like,
Yeah. Cool. Just because it's nearly midnight here, so we'll say that happens. We will do that next week, or through the week or something, and just do a quick recap of it. So you get the holy guys as supercharged as you can from the temple. You get all the information you can from the temple. I will say, just because that wasn't something I'd actually thought of to prep, but I will say that they will be able to provide you with some holy water and some blessings at least to help you, and they'll give you a few tidbits of information that will help you, deal with the kind of things you might be facing. So that will be a thing that will work out.
before we actually leave town, maybe while they're up at the thing, I'm gonna introduce Phil and Bucket, and I'm gonna leave Bucket behind.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you take the helm with you, or do you leave the helm with Bucket?
I think I would leave it on Bucket.
Sure. No problemo. And yet Phil will explain that he doesn't have room to really put Bucket up, like with shelter, but like the tavern's willing to give you a very reasonable rate, and Phil will promise to check in on Bucket. Like,
Yeah. I got him
far enough
boarded
away.
it just so he can like take measurements and meet.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. He will also give you the climbing gear you need for like the four of you, just in case you happen to need it in this next little bit. So you can mark down that you've got 4 sets of climbing gear as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there other stuff that you were, other than the custom stuff for Bucket, that's not going to be ready yet? That you got that I forgot about?
No, the cart, but that's Bucket dependent, and
yeah.
No, I just wanted climbing. Oh, block and tackle. I know I didn't add that, but block
cool.
and tackle.
Pay standard price for it. You guys are familiar enough with him now. He's not going to charge you the exorbitant prices he charges everybody else. And yeah, you can add that.
Maybe grappling hook.
Yep, like any common standard equipment,
Okay,
he can whip up for you. That's fine. All right, and with that, the four of you set off. You head north out of town across the bridge, and the cabin that you're in winds around for maybe half an hour to an hour's walk before it finally opens out into daylight. So now that's going to put you at about the time you wrapped up in town. It's probably about 2, maybe 3 in the afternoon, and you've made a little bit of progress towards your destination. Now let me bring us across to the correct map.
And is it days before we get to this location, or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring you guys now to where you are now. As soon as you leave the cabin, you're expecting daylight, but it is instead a strange kind of twilight, like everything's a bit dim. You can still see the sun in the sky, but it's kind of just faint, as if it's behind a shade screen or something, even though it's not. And you can begin to see in the snow around you, like the further out you look towards the mountains or the hills to the north, you see it gets sort of worse as it gets towards there and wraps around the bottom of it, both on either side. This oily creek that people were talking about. Where you are, you can barely see it. Like you might get a little section of it every 40 or 50 feet or so, but you can see that it gets thicker as you go further north and around the sides of the mountains and stuff. It is cold still, like the ground, but you can see where in the sections of ground that are made up of this creek, it's not snowy or icy anymore. It's instead this tar-like bog kind of consistency. You're going to have a difficult time traveling through this. All travel movement speed will be half what you would normally move.
We don't have anything on the map either. It's all black.
Aha. There we go. You should now be able to see a little circle around you guys. Now, you are out here. You know that Malachi's Rest is basically due north from where you are. You have no guide. Things have changed up here. The map you had is only partially useful because you can see that, like looking at that map and looking at where the mountains now are and all this weird corruption stuff going on, it's like things are moving in ways that they shouldn't. Like things aren't quite where they should be. So hence why I've limited the vision of where you can see. You guys are going to be able to figure it out to be each hex in this situation is 12 miles across. Your standard travel pace for a normal speed day is going to be Normally it's 24 miles, but in this case it'll be 12 because you'll be at normal pace because all your travel movement is going to be halved. So that's the scene that unfolds before you. You have some creep-infested tundra, a set of hills. You can see foothills. Well, you know there are foothills out to the north. You can kind of see the edges of them across the tundra. You've got maybe 2 or 3 hours left of travel of like daytime, or what would be daytime. What would you guys like to do? You are now in the Deadlands.
And seeing this in front of us, just like you were scared of a dragon.
Suppose we just walk till we need to have a rest and find a campsite and pull up for the night. We need to try and get through this as quick as we can.
Let's go.
What if we hire some adventurers to go handle the Lich?
Oh, you guys crack me up.
I think those kids.
And then we re-roll characters to go and fight the Lich.
Yeah.
Nice. Bunch of kobolds.
Go and hire yourself some level 20 adventurers to fucking actually go and take these out. We'll do it as a one shot. It's fine. Won't take 3 weeks or anything. Alright, so traveling. So like I said, you probably got a few hours. Let's say you got half a day's travel left in you, so you can still get about 6 miles today, which will be halfway into the next grid. But you're going to travel on until it's rest time and then take a rest.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So I think, folks, that's where we're going to leave it without any massive, like, immediate danger cliffhanger. It'll just be, we'll fade away from an image of these guys walking out into this half tundra, half necrotic bog kind of landscape. And we'll be back next week to see what happens to them out there.
Thank
you very much, folks. It's been a pleasure, as usual. We will see you all in about 7 days.
And thanks to Sirenscape for music and sounds.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Okay.